around on the guitar. And
Yeah.
oh my gosh, man, my fingers are numb.
Good, you got to develop those calluses.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So my goal this weekend was to be able to do the intro to Sunday Bloody Sunday, and I've managed to remind my fingers how to move, but they don't always hit the strings the way they're supposed to. But
God damn my fingers.
Yeah, I gotta. Man, yep. It's just us. There's nobody.
But it's good. It's good that you're practicing. You've been practicing like every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't yesterday. Hey.
Why does my camera look like I'm in a basement in 1998? This is a weird camera.
Yeah, because you're a little overexposed.
Yeah,
and
you're
have a high contrast.
Well,
you're just getting a little blown out. And
yeah, that's all.
Why?
I mean, you got a little more color now. There's a little pink to you.
I mean, I could probably go in and probably mess with it to make you look a little bit, but oh, Jack's in a blizzard. Stay safe in the blizzard, Jack.
Yeah, definitely.
I guess
so. Good luck with that. We're
seeing record heat.
Right? It's going to be like near 80 for us this week.
We're going to have hottest temperatures in March since 1868 or something like that.
That's great.
But let's just remember, global warming, not real.
Yeah.
It's a hoax.
Yeah.
It's a hoax.
Now I'm wondering if I need to start pruning earlier. I don't know. Anyway. Whatever. Okay. Cool. Oh, hello everybody. Hello everybody. It's gonna be a fun show today. It's good. We were since we had already done a Killer Space Rock show, but it was like the third show that we've ever done. I'm not giving away. It's not like it's a secret title. It's been posted on social media. So we figured that since our third episode to now, we can probably
right. But the only
reason
the only reason why we're doing this one
is because we're doing book club in the
book club.
Yeah.
So, All right, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You wanted that, right?
Yeah. Sure. Don't blow out the speakers there.
What's funny because we can't hear the clap.
You can't?
No.
Really?
No, the suppression cancels it out.
Oh, well, that's fine. I see your hands moving. And so, see, now I've had all right, you got to start it after one of these, so.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Cosmos. As always, I'm Mike.
I'm Liz.
I'm Brandon.
And today it is Killer Space Rocks, the Revenge Tour. Didymo Strikes Back.
Because we shot at it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was thinking about being like, we shot first. But then I was like, oh no, the asteroids definitely shot at us first.
Oh yeah. Right.
Oh yeah. 100%.
This is our 150th episode.
Wow.
That's wild.
It is wild. Yeah. I'm sorry, Ren, I interrupted you.
Oh, no, I was just going to make a bad joke about how, when you build neighborhoods into the forest, you build into the bears' neighborhood. We became a planet in the asteroids' neighborhood, so we're actually encroaching on their territory.
That's true.
Well, we all kind of formed at the same time. We just happened to get a little bit bigger because we gobbled more of them up.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to talk about asteroids hitting things, in particular the Earth.
Yeah.
And the physics of it, and we'll talk about some notable ones. But before we do all that, Brandon, what are you drinking today?
I am drinking the KT Boundary.
Hey.
Because it's tea. It's the white Earl Grey with a dash of the sweet bun sesame in it.
Ooh,
nice.
I love a good pun.
Liz?
I am drinking a spicy meteorita.
Oh, you said it great.
That's a spicy meteor.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
which is just a spicy margarita. So it's tequila and spicy margarita mix.
Yeah, right.
With a tagine rim.
Oh, our drinks are the same color.
Same color again.
All right.
But they're not the same thing.
Wild. Yeah, it's not. I do not have the
same
drink.
Our drinks happen to be reflecting the same wavelengths of light. I binged so much Bill Nye the Science Guy episodes yesterday.
She had.
I love that.
because
like the OG version.
It meant to be in the background while I worked on stuff, but I kept getting distracted and just watching it.
Yeah, because yesterday, Liz goes, "Hey, are you going to make some stuff in Digistar for the show?" And I was like, "No, I wasn't going to, but I guess I am now." And so I had to go make stuff, and it took much longer than I thought. And I don't like any of it, but we're going to throw it anyway.
Oh my gosh, what's in it? What did you make in your drink?
All right, so this I'm calling kinetic energy because that's what destroys everything. But and this might destroy me in the end. But it's just peach mango with cinnamon whiskey.
Oh, you have pink mango and cinnamon whiskey, and Jack's drinking mango orange Italian soda. You both are mango twins, mango buddies.
Me and Jack, mango buddies. Yep. All right, so that's what we're drinking. We do have social, and by we, I mean Liz runs it, even though we do have a social media manager who's not with us. I think she's sleeping. But anyway, follow us on all the things.
Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.
Susanna would be mad at us if we didn't say like and subscribe. So, again,
Mom's drink. I'm sorry. A London Fog Earl Grey, sugar.
I do love a good London Fog.
A bit of cream.
That's nice.
The best donut at the vegan donut place in Portland. London Fog donut. Oh my god, it's so good.
What's that place called?
What's it called? Katie will know.
Yeah,
it's vegan. It's on the east side of Portland. You got to go to it. It's fucking amazing. You would never even know it was vegan. So good.
Anyway, follow us on all the things. Go get those donuts. Follow us on all the things on Twitter because we refuse to call it anything else. It is Drinking Cosmos. Everything else is Cosmos. And again, like and subscribe.
Doe's Donuts. Not sponsored.
Not sponsored.
By Doe's Donuts.
That was the word I was trying to think of a minute ago.
Check out Doe's
Not
Donuts.
sponsored at all. But also, this episode brought to you by an actual sponsor. The meteor that killed the dinosaurs.
Yeah. And in memoriam of the dinosaurs.
The Chicxulub meteor. Because if that didn't happen, then dinosaurs would rule the world and we'd be
the world
land
would be
of the lost.
Better place. The world would be a better...
We would be like the sitcom Dinosaurs and little baby that's just saying not the mama.
Yes. So.
But we do actually have some people that we do think you ought to check out. And Wildixia, Wild IXIA on Etsy. That is some really great artwork from Katie. Also, the Mr. Proctor Show. I was going to throw Ron in there.
The Mr. Ron Proctor Show.
Mr. Proctor Show, where you can learn all about chickens, Blender, and the universe. Of course, our good mango buddy. I'm sorry, that probably... All right, so that sounds a little weird, but anyway, Jack,
I think it does.
At Rolling Bluffs Planetarium. So if you're in the Council Bluffs area in southwestern Iowa, kind of near Nebraska there, check him out and go visit his planetarium. We also have little, what do you call it, bite-size?
Just
morsels?
Shots of astronomy.
Right down the gullet.
Just little, shots of astronomy down your gullet.
It's injected into the vein.
Yeah, just
wait.
I guess that is also a shot. So however you want to take your
true.
shot of astronomy, I guess to each their own. You know.
Oh, God.
One just hits you quicker, maybe. The science just hits you quicker if you go intravenously.
Mainlining a shot.
Or maybe it's like a vaccine of science,
No, we don't want you resistant to the science.
I wonder if you did do like you shot up like vodka and it hit the brain, would it just hit you hard because all that
immediately into your bloodstream? People have done that. It's not good. Don't do that. Nobody do that. Nobody do any kind of injections of any kind of alcohol or astronomy. Just get your regularly scheduled vaccinations.
Yes.
Thank you. They are important for everybody.
I just Googled injecting vodka, and the first thing that comes up is substance abuse and mental health services. Oh, no.
Yeah, not great. It's not good. We do not promote that on the show. Take your shots orally.
All right. Anyway, there's as always, there's a couple of rules. Your mom yelling, "Don't do that."
Yeah, says the nurse.
if we make a Star Wars reference or Lord of the Rings reference, take a drink.
Yeah.
Or if my meth raccoon of a puppy knocks out my computer and burns down the house today,
right.
take a drink
All
just
right.
in case. Yeah, that'll be a new rule just for today.
Okay.
He's feeling it.
A special rule. All right. Let's talk some impacts here.
Yeah, let's
Woo!
get Killer Space Rocky.
Yeah, so I thought that what we ought to do is, at first, before we get into some notable knocks, let's talk about the physics of impacts.
Yeah. Notable
And
knocks. Please use as a Jeopardy category. Jeopardy.
Mr. Jeopardy.
Mr. Jeopardy. Notable knocks.
can I get a credit though in the credits?
Yeah,
You're going to be the guest speaker, the one to actually, say it.
Notable knocks. Oh, that would be so cool.
Yeah.
Everybody like, who the hell is this guy? And then Ken can promote the podcast. Oh, that'd be awesome.
There we go.
Anyway, I think before we get to notable knocks, we should
Physics.
understand the physics of things.
Yeah, physics is important.
Quite so.
So in physics, there's basically, in mechanics, you have other types of collisions, but there's basically two big types of collisions in our everyday world that we get to experience. And they have the very romantic names of elastic and inelastic collisions.
It's like back in economics class.
Yeah.
Elastic.
Oh, right. So it is. It does have economic terms to it, but basically, elastic collisions are when you have a couple of things that are conserved.
Snap back? No.
I mean, yeah, yeah, in a way.
Okay.
And so it's when the momentum, the total momentum, and the total energy is conserved. So if you add it all up before the collision, it's the same number you get after the collision.
Okay.
So, energy is energy. In physics, we call it a scalar. It's just a number.
Energy is energy.
But momentum is a vector. So it has a number associated, but it also has a direction. So,
which is why you can say, "What's your vector, Victor?" So figure out where Victor's going.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, an example of this would be two balls bouncing off each other. So snapping back, like you said. That would be an elastic collision. So if you're playing pool, the balls hitting each other, those are all elastic collisions. You're dribbling a basketball, elastic.
Right.
Hitting a baseball. Yeah, I mean, really, at the end of the day, all collisions are inelastic. All of them.
Wait,
Yeah.
inelastic?
Inelastic. So,
not elastic.
right, but you can pretty highly approximate a ball bouncing or playing pool as elastic collisions.
Okay, wait. Did you define inelastic
Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah. So inelastic collisions are when only momentum is conserved. Momentum going to be conserved all the time. So no matter what, momentum is going to be conserved. Energy, kinetic energy, though, is not conserved. It's lost. And so what happens is like if you are like you have two cars, they run into each other.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so they wreck. You hear this loud bang. And the cars they deform.
Right, they're totaled.
They're totaled and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of heat that gets created. So all of that kinetic energy from these two cars going into each other go into other things, like the deforming of the cars, the sound that they made, and momentum.
So there's no
momentum is not velocity. It is related to velocity, but it's not velocity.
To let you know, because nobody can see chat on this part of the show, is that my mom said momentum is velocity, and that's what Mike was responding then to.
Momentum is velocity times the mass of the object. So that's why if you have two things, that's why if you have a bicycle that's going 10 miles an hour and you have a truck going 10 miles an hour and one of them hits you, you're going to feel one a lot more than the other.
Hey, Mike.
Right.
Yeah.
What's it like being smart?
I don't know. I'll let you know if I'm ever
whipping out these
smart.
equations left and right.
I haven't learned about this on Bill Nye. I've learned a lot about buoyancy and biodiversity and
Yeah. So, examples of inelastic collisions. I've already mentioned one with the car crash.
Right.
But also asteroid impacts
Oh, yeah.
are a great example.
Because all that energy is going into the earth.
It goes into the earth. It makes the crater.
Bad things happen.
It makes the crater. It makes crater. It makes the shock wave and all this kind of stuff. And so, asteroid impacts definitely inelastic. But the reason why I said that at the end of the day everything is inelastic is because when, let's say you're watching. Brandon's watching the Arizona Diamondbacks, and one of their players comes up and he hits a home run. So you see the pitcher pitch the ball. You see the batter swing, and what is it that you always hear?
Swing,
the
batter,
crack,
batter, batter,
the
batter.
crack of the bat, right? And so some of that kinetic energy
goes into the
making of
crack
the sound. Yeah, it makes the sound.
Right.
And in some cases, actually breaks the bat. And
in some cases, if you hit it hard enough, it burns the wood slightly, so you can kind of smell it too.
Oh, see, I didn't even know that.
Or
so,
sometimes it decimates a bird.
Yeah.
On occasion.
And actually,
is that inelastic or elastic impact? Decimating a bird with a
the bird goes poof.
I would say with that one, that was completely elastic because I don't think that ball slowed down. It was a Randy Johnson pitch. It didn't slow down at all. But anyway,
the bird was nothing.
Actually, if you take a metal rod and you just bounce it off the ground, that rod will heat up. And so so you might be saying that rod is bouncing it off the ground a bunch of times is an elastic collision, but in reality it's not. It's inelastic because the collision itself, some of that energy is being converted to heat, which then heats up the metal rod, and you can actually eventually feel it. It'll be warmer.
So at the end of the day, when a meteor hits the Earth, it's not like playing pool. It's an inelastic impact of devastating proportions.
Yes. Now, the Earth is always being pummeled with stuff, and
always, right now.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah, pretty much. I can't remember. I should have looked it up. I can't remember how many
tons. It's like 100
tons.
tons. It's like 100 tons of it. No, 1,000 tons. It's some. I remember
Really
I remember saying this and talking about it, and it was always like a crazy thing.
It's a surprising amounts. One of the cool things I always like trying to do is if you set up a bowl with like I forget just a plastic up there to catch rainwater and then drag a magnet through it, you can actually collect tiny micrometeorites that survived the atmosphere.
What? That's cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Another fun experiment that I've but kids activity that I always bring up whenever we're talking about impacts and the kind of stuff is just you get like a flower and then like a bouncy ball or whatever, and you just like throw it in the flower and make you different craters, and you do different size objects and stuff so you can see how
and then you can change the color of the flower so you can see the strata, how it impacts the layers.
Yeah, and how it spreads out and everything. So
when you said
if you
flower,
want to make a mess,
my first thought went to a pretty flower, and then you're gonna hit it with a ball, and then I'm like, wait a minute,
decimate those fucking daffodils.
All right, so obviously most of that stuff burns up in the atmosphere, and you can go out any night
because of friction.
Ooh.
I said a science.
You said a science.
What's it like being smart, Liz?
It feels good.
So as these things come into the atmosphere, they're coming in really fast. Coming in hot. And if they aren't coming in hot, they quickly become hot.
Yeah.
Because of that friction. Yeah. And so the heating due to the atmosphere is intense and is all kind of on the front end of this object. And so because the back end's
just hanging out along for the ride. The front end is like
And so the temperature difference between the front and the back eventually causes it to, well, it burns up. But if it is big enough, the temperature difference, the gradient, can cause it to explode. And so you get it explode up in the air. It doesn't really affect you. It just looks really pretty. And
Well,
then,
depending on the size of the explosion in the air, or how big
Yeah.
it was when it exploded in the air, and how far above the surface it exploded, which we will talk about in a bit.
yes.
Certain conditions of air explosions gone wild.
Explosions gone wild. However,
Right.
some are big enough that where they can withstand that heating
Right.
and punch through the
And
atmosphere.
make it all
And they hit the ground.
the way down.
And just so that we have all the terminology correct, even though I'm not going to say it right, if you have a rock in space, it is called a meteoroid.
Yeah. Yes.
Mm.
Yes.
And if it gets to a certain size, I don't know that size, it's an asteroid.
Yeah, it's usually the meteoroids are they're really like grain of sands and like
They're
little.
small.
They're very small.
Maybe the size of a beach ball
Not
or
really.
something.
Yeah, not really negligible.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then if it gets big enough, and it's rocky or metallic, it's an asteroid. And then you have
If it's
dirty
icy,
snowballs.
it's a comet.
You have dirty snowballs, which are comets. Comets, they can lose all their ice and become asteroids, and so there are some examples where asteroids were formerly comets, and that type of thing.
Can asteroids get further out and become comets? Probably not.
Like
no.
they have to collect
They
ice
don't have
and
the
stuff.
gas.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
the ice.
once
and
you
the
lose your ice,
sublimation.
Yeah.
getting the ice is a little
Yeah.
bit more difficult. But once it comes into the atmosphere, we change its name from a meteoroid to a meteor. And so it is, you go out at night and see the streaks of light. That is a meteor. And if it's big enough to actually impact the ground, it doesn't have to make a crater, because you can go out into the desert, and like there's a desert in Africa, and like salt flats where these meteor
Antarctica.
these rocks
Yeah.
just really stick out.
Yeah.
And you can collect what we call meteorites, because it has actually hit the ground.
Oh, okay. So the Jack in chat says our class rule is meteoroids are smaller than a pig. Parentheses farm life.
I love that. I love that so much.
I love it.
All right,
oh
so
my god!
if
Now
a rock is smaller than Wilbur,
now I just want like an image showing like meteor, like there's just pigs in space
With little space helmets on.
Yeah, they're just like meteor.
maybe for my webinar I can do pigs.
Meteor pigs.
Liz, in
Pigoroids.
space, no one can hear you oink.
All right, everybody, drink to that shit. Please drink to that.
This reminds me of the meteors, meteorites, how astronomers always hammering that difference. It reminds me of like geologists saying the difference between lava and magma. There's a difference, people. Know it.
That's true.
Lava's
That is
up top,
true.
magma's in bottom. Lava, magma, lava, magma.
They're both cool, but hot, but cool.
Yeah.
They're
Lava.
so hot. They're
So
cool.
hot right now.
All right, continuing on.
All right. Yes. Fine.
All right, so when the meteor hits the ground, we call it a meteorite. And basically, all of that kinetic energy has to go somewhere. And that kinetic energy creates a shock wave, and that shock wave then will excavate a crater.
Oh, excavate. That's nice.
Yes, that's a
I'm
good way of
just
putting
gonna
it.
excavate a crater
Yeah.
here.
So it hits the ground and it kicks out all of this material that goes flying
Which
out.
you can discover for yourself with a flower and a bouncy ball. Or an
Yes.
orange. Or anything.
Or an asteroid.
Or an asteroid.
If you have a big thing of flour, probably use marbles or BBs. Yeah, because
Well,
an
different
orange is,
sizes. You want to get the sizes.
I mean,
you
an
gotta
orange
throw it
could be
with
fun.
You
Make
can
a
throw
mess
it with
of.
enough force, you know?
I don't have to clean up the mess. You do whatever
Yeah,
you
do it
want to do.
outside, preferably.
Bowling ball.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, so the meteorite is usually shattered, or in most cases just vaporized, because it stops pretty quickly. There's a lot of energy.
Well,
there's a lot of force that that this meteorite, this rock, this
Mhm.
chunk of metal has
Mhm.
to
Mhm.
experience. And so it
I've had a
does.
bad day.
All right, so it kicks out all this material.
Called ejecta.
Yes.
Hey.
And some of that material might slump back towards the center.
You get a rebound, and you get a little like a
Yeah.
little mini mountain in
We
the center.
call those complex craters.
Hey.
Yeah. So if it's a really big meteor and it makes a crater that's like roughly like 100 miles,
That's fucking
um,
big.
it will not be bowl shaped. It'll actually be kind of flat a little bit, but I mean it's still a deep crater, right? But it's not bowl shaped because in the middle the central part rebounds
Mhm.
and it makes a central
And
a central peak.
And if you want to see evidence of this, just look at the moon.
The moon.
The moon has a ton of complex craters. It's getting hit by
and
shit. It has
different
gotten
shape craters.
Yeah, yeah.
Some craters that skipped. It was cool.
Yeah.
Neat stuff
So
up there.
if you
Oh,
want to
yeah,
look
there
at
really-
different
there really are some.
varieties of craters, then just look at.
Oh yeah,
the
we'll
moon.
actually get into that. I forgot I added that.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh, cool. Yeah, sweet.
And the edges might slump back, that might slump down, as well, and it makes these like nice little terraced steps kind of at the
that's
edges.
convenient.
So the physics of I was gonna say the physics of black holes. That's not what we're talking about.
You just can't stop with black holes in your brain, can you?
It's
cannot.
just it's so easy to get sucked into them.
Yeah.
There really is not a lot of difference between two cars running into each other and a rock hitting the earth. The physics
Sure.
is still the same.
Yeah.
The only difference,
You'll find out, Mom, what's gonna happen around the impact. Let me tell you.
The only difference is energies involved.
Yeah, you got two cars which are not going to cause anything devastating for other than the people involved, most likely.
If we follow that same train of thought, then a high five is the exact same thing as the killing of dinosaurs, just on a smaller scale.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, yeah, pretty much. That collision right there. You science.
No.
Mini Chicxulub.
Littlefoot.
Oh. Mother?
Mini what? What'd you say?
Littlefoot from The Land Before Time.
Oh.
Millennials get it.
And cry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're just talking about the speeds of things. Two cars running into each other. The two cars, the total speed, if they're both going 60 miles an hour, is 120 miles an hour at impact, right? And so because one's going this way 60, the other's going that way, so you add them together.
Yeah.
So 120 for an asteroid hitting the Earth, it's going anywhere between 11 kilometers per second, which is about 6 miles an hour, to 70.
6 miles an hour?
I'm sorry, 6 miles per second.
Oh, yeah, I was like...
to 70 kilometers per second, which is about 40 miles per second. And so, I mean, you're talking like really fast velocities here.
Yeah, space stuff is going to be able to go a lot faster than just cars.
It's scary fast.
But it's the same physics, which is crazy. You don't have to get into like the relativities and things like that. The speeds just aren't that fast. And so, and the reason why it's between 11 and 70 is because 11 is basically the escape velocity of Earth. And so that kind of sets a minimum. So if it's actually going slower than that, the Earth's going to speed it up.
Oh, and bring it in.
Hey, you're going to hit me
quicker.
hard. You're going to hit me faster than you want to hit me.
It's like, come on, I get you now.
And if it's going 70 kilometers per second, that is the escape velocity of the solar system plus the velocity of the Earth as it goes around the sun. And so
like if one of those extrasolar asteroids or comets were to slam into the Earth, it would have been at 70 kilometers per second.
The extrasolar, so outside the solar system, is that
we had like 3 of them visit.
Yes.
I guess they
yes.
come in faster then.
They come in faster, so those are typically more than
because
70.
they've left their own wherever
Yeah,
they
and they're gonna
come
leave
from.
ours as well, so they're not gonna get
They're
caught.
like, hi.
Yeah, pretty much.
And we're like,
but it's
yes.
space, so it's like-
So
Oink.
I mean, you don't want to say the probability is 0 because
there's always
chance.
If I've learned
Long
anything
enough
from
time-
you,
But-
if I've learned anything from you talking about quantum, is that I could just like walk through this wall. There is a
Yeah.
chance that I could just walk through this wall if I
Yeah.
wanted to and not be a
Thanks
ghost.
a lot, John Green.
Yeah. So, but they usually cut it off at 70 because the chances of an asteroid that originated outside the solar system being aimed directly at the Earth is
Unless
pretty much 0.
It was intentional.
There's like 0 plus a dot plus a lot of other zeros. Percent chance.
Isn't that what the bugs did in Starship Troopers? Is they took an extrasolar asteroid and slammed it into South America? I think that was the impetus of the war in the movie.
Is that? God, I don't remember. It's been a while since I've watched Starship Troopers.
that-
Although,
Wow,
great
that came out of
movie.
nowhere.
Great movie.
And that is what you call a plot point. It's like the winds on Mars.
There always has to be like some like, something fucking up the Earth and then aliens.
We can fuck up the Earth on their own. Thank you very much.
That's true. We
Yeah, we
can.
don't need your help.
Hence why it's going to be 80 degrees next week here.
So there's parts to craters.
Craters
okay.
have parts.
Craters have
Like
parts.
Have anatomy?
parfaits.
Yeah, so the floor of the crater. It's the bottom
Okay.
of the crater,
Oh,
right?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure. That's where you
Typically,
start. That's where you start. You start on the ground floor of the crater.
yeah,
Work your way up.
Exactly. So that is the bottom of the crater,
Mhm.
and sometimes though in that crater you might have a central peak, and so that would be the little mountain at the center of the floor that's there. You have the walls of the crater,
Mhm.
that kind of nice, those beautiful. If you've ever been to Meteor Crater
In Arizona.
in Arizona, it's a nice bowl crater,
Yeah,
and
it's
the walls kind of slope
It's
up.
cool.
You know what
Yeah.
the most amazing thing is about Media Crater? Is that it managed to miss the visitor center.
I know, right? It's just such a lucky
They're
hit.
so close, yeah.
They built
It's
that visitor
amazing.
center, and they were like, if we build it,
They
it
will
will
come.
will
It
come.
will come.
And it did. It came, and
Right
it
there.
hit right
I was
where they
I was
wanted
like,
it to.
I see where you want me to park.
Right,
and
right next to the walls.
Obviously, the rim is like the rim of
Yeah,
it's,
yeah.
you know.
And just as a caveat, as somebody who's been to Meteor Crater in Arizona, which I highly recommend, just visiting a fucking crater in general, is you can look at all the pictures all day of Meteor Crater, and you do not get the scale of it until you actually see it with your own eyes. It is.
Yeah, and we're gonna talk about Meteor Crater.
Yeah, we are.
in a
We got
bit.
some
So-
special stuff.
All right, so all the stuff that comes out to make that bowl,
Yeah.
that is the ejecta. There are some craters, especially on the moon, where the impact happens and you see these like rays that come out from it. That's ejecta that created those rays, but it happens enough to where you can call it a crater part now. Is
crater
for some
part.
of just like there's a rays that kind of, and it looks
The
like.
crater's tentacles reaching out.
And it actually, in some pictures, like of craters on the moon, it looks like burn streaks. I guess that's the best way to kind of maybe
Just
describe
because
them.
that material was darker underneath the
Yeah,
surface.
it's
and-
not burn. It's not burn. It's just ejecta that
Pretty
has
much.
come
You know,
out.
talking about this, and this is going to occur more throughout this episode, but I'm getting that visceral realization again that we are just on a space rock.
Yeah.
Living on a space rock.
Yeah.
With magical air above us that's somehow
Yeah.
protecting us. But at any given moment, we could die from anything.
Oh
Because
yeah,
we're just
Yeah.
on a space rock.
Yeah.
The universe.
we're flying through space. We're
We're just white knuckling this, folks.
We're flying through space with a very thin canopy.
With what?
A very thin canopy.
Oh,
just like
yes.
Mark Watney when he escaped Mars. For more on that, look at our book club last week.
Yeah.
There's I got 5 different types of craters, but really and truly you'll see like 2 of them, like when you look at like the moon. The moon's a great place to look at craters. Simple craters, these are small bowl-shaped smooth walled craters, so they're
They're
like
standard.
Huh?
Your standard crater, your simple
Yeah.
crater,
Um,
basic crater.
they there a good example of that would be meteor craters that we talked about.
Yeah.
They do have a maximum size limit, and that depends on the object. So
Mhm.
the density of the ground that the meteor hits,
Yeah.
and that type of thing. And so the simple craters here on Earth are going to be different from, say, Mars, which might have a different density than we do. But they're all pretty much going to kind of be about the same size. Have complex craters. Brandon mentioned that earlier. So these can have terraces or that central peak. Tycho crater, great example of that on the moon. Beautiful crater. You can have multi-ring basins or multi-ring craters. So these are very large impact.
Can you visualize it as like rings in a pond when
Yeah.
you throw a rock in a pond or
Oh,
something?
nice.
Yeah. So these are surrounded by as many as like 5 or 6 circular rings, and so these are created by just absolutely massive objects that are hitting it.
Big guys.
Brandon referred to basically called irregular craters, and so these are craters that might be oblong in shape. And so we like
Okay.
to think of craters as these circular things,
Yes,
right?
we like our things nice and neat and
Mhm.
Yeah, but sometimes that rock does not come in a
Oh.
certain way that will make that nice circular one. It comes in really low, hits the ground, and basically gouges out a crater, and it'll be oblong. And in some cases, we'll actually skip, like skipping a rock on a pond, and make more craters down line,
You got it.
and
Yeah.
they'll be oblong as well.
It feels like the irregular craters are the punk craters of
They
the
are
crater
the punk,
world.
they're the
They
punk
just do what
craters.
they
It's a
want.
little different.
Can the shape of the asteroid, because not all asteroids are spherical. Most of them are oblong shape in general, just because if they were spherical, it'd be more of a dwarf planet in size because of gravity and blah, 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 blah. Can the shape of the asteroid affect the cause an oblong or an irregular crater?
No,
Depending on...
the destruction.
Yeah.
Um,
Because it's a focal point of the entry, and
yeah,
so
it's all about the angle for that, but the destruction itself just it comes from the energy,
Gotcha.
the kinetic energy of it, and the shape really doesn't factor into it.
But I do like the idea of like a metallic asteroid coming in hot that's shaped like a rubber duck and leaves a rubber duck crater.
Duck crater. That'd be great.
That'd be pretty funny.
That would be amazing.
That would be fun. Because most of that asteroid is vaporized. Like if you go to meteor crater,
Right.
they wanted to mine and try to get that that iron,
gone.
and it vaporized. It wasn't
Things
there.
get hot.
Yeah, and so you might think, okay, asteroid hits, makes a crater. As long as I'm not under the asteroid,
Sure,
I'm
you're
good.
fine.
I'm good. I'm fine. It's not the only thing that happens. You've
heard of nuclear fallout. Well,
right?
This is basically a nuclear type.
You get a
energies.
shock wave that then rushes out, and it's like a nuclear explosion. It will flatten things and trees and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
My mom asked in chat, can it then change the Earth's rotation?
If
Well,
it's big enough.
If it's big enough.
If it's big enough.
Sure. In fact, Venus, it rotates backwards. It rotates counterclockwise, and it's mostly because of an impact that, it revolves.
Gravitational, which is also in physics considered an impact.
And Uranus is knocked on its side, which was most likely from an impact that tipped it over. So yeah, the big enough a thing it is, then it can change the affects the rotation and direction of an object. In fact, we have shown that we've been able to do that from the DART spacecraft that we sent shooting into Didymos, and we actually changed its trajectory from that that impact. So,
and I mean, technically in physics, if you have a spacecraft, like Voyager, for example, going around or passing Jupiter, it stole some of its orbital speed as well. So any object technically changes the orbit of the planet.
Right, but it's so minuscule.
Yeah.
That you can't really.
Yeah, unless it's something that's just like a monstrous.
Yeah.
If you have a planet the same size as Earth coming towards the Earth and smashes into it, then you're gonna change some shit and possibly form a moon, which is how we got our moon.
But that's a notable knock.
That's it. Oh, right. We'll get there.
So a lot of heat is generated in this. Obviously, this rock of some kind is coming through the atmosphere. A lot of friction going on. That heat has to dissipate and go somewhere. So it just coming through the atmosphere, you get a lot of heat from that. It impacting the ground. You get a lot of heat. Kinetic energy is converted to heat, and so there's that. This is a very hot and violent thing, interaction event, I guess. And if it hits the ground, if it hits the ocean, you get tsunamis that can come out of it. So that's
another. And I don't know if you touched on this yet, but the makeup of the asteroid, or the meteor once it gets into the atmosphere, also kind of depends on the consequences of it, because you can have asteroids that are, say, like rubble piles. They break apart easily. They're made of just like silicates and other, nickel, like rocks and stuff. Whereas metallic asteroids, those are going to be a lot more dense and are going to cause a lot more damage, because they're not going to break up as easily or burn up as easily in the atmosphere than, a more rocky asteroid would.
Right. So the kinetic energy of an object is 1/2 times the mass times the velocity squared. And so mass is related to the density of the object. So if you have a stony asteroid, that's a lot less dense than a metallic asteroid, if they're both going the same speed and they impact, the metallic asteroid is going to do so much more damage.
Yeah.
Because it has let's say its mass is twice, it's going to do twice the damage that the stony meteorite would do. If the metallic asteroid has the same mass but is going twice the speed, it will do 4 times the damage, because the velocity is twice. You square that, it's 4. And so the velocity of something also really kind of factors in.
Yeah.
But the mass, which is related to density, factors in. A stony asteroid will not do as much damage as a metallic one if they're all going the same speed. But that stony asteroid will do more than, say, an icy object like a comet comes in into the atmosphere. All right.
Eric in chat says roll 4 times damage. Nat 20. We got some Nat 20s coming up.
All right, let's talk some notable knocks here. Unless there's something else we want to cover.
No, let's go knocking.
Yeah, so
let's knock some asteroid boots.
So knock it up.
All right, let's go to Russia.
Okay.
Let's go to Russia on the 15th of February of 2013.
Classic date. Classic. We all remember where we
yes, the Ides of February.
On February 15th, 2013. Although I do remember.
Actually, we do remember
this was relevant to our work and what we were doing. So.
Yeah, so that day, February 15th of 2013, was going to be a day that an asteroid, a near-Earth asteroid, was going to fly past the Earth. Everybody was very excited. We're going to get some good, photographs, data off of this asteroid as it flies by. So
it was all a distraction.
I wake up on the 15th of February 2013 to Twitter exploding about
pun intended
about this asteroid that blew up over Russia. Chelyabinsk, or however you say it.
Chelyabinsk.
We're just going to say it like we say it.
Yeah.
Well, I got yelled at by a very nice Russian lady during a show, so it's Chelyabinsk.
Chelyabinsk. Chelyabinsk. Vodka. Chelyabinsk.
So, and I was like, wait a minute. It wasn't supposed to hit us. It was supposed to be a flyby. It turns out that this is an asteroid that came from the direction of the sun.
Different
We never
asteroid.
saw it.
It's like, guys, they'll never see me. They're focused on this guy
Yep.
over here. I'm gonna come right in over here and
It's
flank
like
him.
Ocean's 11 for
Yeah,
asteroids.
yeah.
It came in from the sun, from the direction of the sun. So there was no
So
way
you
that
could say we were blinded by the light.
So
And it was coming in like a wrecking ball.
it came in at 19.2 kilometers per second, which is 42,860 miles an hour.
42.
42 space
The
units.
speed of light.
Yeah.
The speed of life.
It was 60 foot across, which was really cool for us because our planetarium was 60 foot across, and we can say it's about this size right here. It exploded about 30 kilometers up, so 18.6 miles. And it exploded with 400 to 500 kilotons of TNT. To put that in perspective,
Thank you.
27 to 33 Hiroshimas.
That's a lot of Hiroshimas, everybody.
That's a lot of.
One
that's a lot.
Hiroshima was too many Hiroshimas.
That's true. That is true. 1,491 people were injured from secondary effects, so flying glass, that type of thing,
It could
not
have
from
been
the actual.
so much worse, which I'm
Oh,
sure
God,
you'll
yeah.
explain why.
7,200 buildings were damaged, and please keep in mind that this is in Siberia, so in wintertime. And to the credit of the Russians, the military mobilized very quickly and got all those people like warm clothes. They got them like tents that they could spend the night in and stuff like that.
Wow.
It came in at a very shallow angle, and that actually was a good thing.
That's very important.
It is very important because all of that energy, most of that energy,
Dissipates
goes in front of the object,
and
right?
not down onto the city.
And since it was coming in the shallow angle, it went out and above the city. If it had come in a very steep angle,
Goodbye.
it would have flattened the city.
Goodbye,
That
China.
Yeah.
shock wave would have destroyed.
And then you would have
stuff.
had the first human deaths related
Yeah.
to an impact.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least recorded.
Recorded in modern day.
The shock wave.
Human deaths. Notice I caveated human deaths.
Yes, yes. The shock wave itself traveled twice around the Earth, and it was picked up by infrasound stations, which are meant to monitor for nuclear explosion
Well.
tests. Yep. And so you can imagine getting that sound, not knowing that an asteroid just exploded over Russia, and going, "Holy shit, what's going on?"
Yeah, like did a nuke just fucking go off?
Yeah, but think about that for a second, though. A 60-foot asteroid explodes 18 miles up.
Yeah.
And the shock wave goes around the Earth twice.
Well, it wasn't in the capital of Russia, Mom. Putin would have still.
Yeah.
Sorry, my mom in chat said Putin may not have invaded Ukraine.
So there is all kinds of video footage.
Yeah, the dash cams that
The dash
became
cams.
when everybody was like, "Oh shit, we could get dashboard cameras."
So in Russia, apparently, there's like so much like
fraud with
fraud and
Insurance
stuff.
fraud, yeah.
insurance
Yeah.
fraud that everybody has dashboard cameras. to
Everybody
prove
has
that-
dashboard cameras, and so there's all these videos of dashboard camera video of it just flying across the sky, and you see it, and it brightens things up, and it's they're really cool. But some of the best footage also is people with their cell phones or whatever. They had cell phones at the time.
They have cell phones.
They- They go outside and they have the phones up, and you see these beautiful clouds that were caused by the explosion and all that kind of stuff. It's very quiet, and people are like, this is cool.
and then
And then all of a sudden, boom! The sonic boom hits. The shock wave hits the ground because it's got to go that 18 miles,
it's
right?
delayed from your visual
And
perspective.
glass shatters all over the place, and then all of a sudden you hear all these people screaming, and I just want to think they're
know
cussing
it's
in
all
Russian.
Russian cussing. You know it is.
They are cussing in Russian.
Yeah. And they had no idea what it was, what to expect, what was going to happen next. They had no idea.
Nobody's ever prepared for an impact.
No.
In this day and age. Nobody's oh, but how many pigs was it?
It was a one big pig.
One big oinker.
It won a blue ribbon on the fair.
Yeah, the largest pig at the fair.
Oh, so maybe instead of Skittles, now we do pigs.
We do pigs
How many
instead
pigs?
of Skittles.
Anyway,
How many pig units?
anyway, Brandon,
How
did you
many
have
oinkers?
any quotes that people had for this one?
Yeah, besides all the Russian cursing, there was some that felt like they were blinded by headlights. They saw the flash, a big sonic boom, and they were scared, didn't know what was going on.
That'll do pig.
Yeah, lots of trails of smoke across the sky, and the shockwave and windows were smashed. And this was kind of cool. So there is a team led by Olga Popova from the Russian Academies of Sciences.
What's their name?
Olga Popova.
It's beautifully
Okay.
Russian.
Yeah.
They had a methodology to get information after the explosion. They said typically we'd go into a village and find out where the local grocery market is and go talk to the people behind the counters because they just listened for the past couple of weeks to what other people had experienced. So they went to go talk to the grocery people first, and then went out to the streets to get all the
Oh, that's
information.
great.
Oh, that's
That's a fun.
That's an interesting
fun summary, yeah.
cultural tidbit about
Yeah.
Russia right there. I mean,
Mhm.
the scariest thing about this, though, is the fact that it came from the direction of the sun, and so we had no fucking idea. The entire, all of humanity had no idea that this rock was headed for us and was going to hit us. And that's the scariest part, and that's the thing that it's like, hey, people, we don't know. We don't necessarily know when something is going to hit us. We can't track all of these.
And
objects.
they ended up, I think they ended up finding parts of that in the frozen lake, right? Like they
Yeah.
tracked it down. It was
Yep.
at the bottom of the frozen lake. They went to go get.
So basically, it exploded, and there was a bunch of small parts that exploded everywhere, and you could
And
go
then
collect
it became
them.
a money-making
And
venture.
it became a money making. You can actually buy little fragments from
Oh
this.
yeah, that day there were Russians on eBay trying to sell bits of black rock, passing it off as a Chelabinsk asteroid.
Yeah. In fact, if you ever are out and about and you think you find something that could possibly be a meteor, you can actually send it off to, I think there's a university in Texas or something that
Yeah.
will identify it for you and let you know if it is or not.
Yeah. So definitely get it looked at, and before you start saying that it's a meteorite, because really, it does drive me crazy when basically people are like, "This is from space," when it's not, and it just gives the people that do have actual legit stuff from space. It just
Do you guys have any meteorites over there?
We do, right in our wedding rings. They're from meteorites
That's
from
nice.
Namibia.
That's nice.
Did you know that? And you were just
I have forgotten about it.
Oh.
But that's
Yep,
cool.
There's
little
little
flecks
flecks.
of it in our
Nice.
wedding bands.
And so it is crazy that this came from the direction of the sun. We had no idea that it was coming.
At the very same time, we're actually looking at an asteroid that's like
Yeah, right.
passing by.
But this is a small guy, 60 foot.
Yeah, not big.
Not 18 meters for the rest of the world, but and it caused all kinds of damage, and it could have been so much worse if it had come kind of straight down.
Yeah.
All right. Let's stay in
I'm looking at the list.
Russia.
We got a lot of impacts.
Oh yeah.
And we got visuals later on as well.
Let's stay in Russia. We are going to go a little bit
This
east.
one, I love this one. This one's like my favorite one of the ones we.
June 30th, 1908.
Very good year.
A little, almost as old as I am. God, I feel like I was from 1908. Anyway, Tunguska, Russia.
Now you'll notice Okay, that when there are impacts, a lot of them hit in A, the ocean, or B, also Siberia, because these are large areas that are big targets. So like the ocean, so much of the Earth is covered with ocean that we don't notice them, and then Siberia
So
is
much of the ocean is covered with ocean.
so much of the ocean is covered with ocean. I
It's a quote,
stand
folks.
by it. And then Siberia is this huge swath of land, and given the orientation, that it's just an easy.
Yeah.
It ends up being I guess, an easy target. For
And it's also easier to hit further north. Well, I should say it's not easier, but most of the impacts are not going to hit the equator.
Yeah,
because that's not going to be a dead-on shot.
and the tilt of the Earth.
They're either going to be north or south of that.
Yeah, because the tilt of the Earth is gonna.
And so if you look at like a map of all the impacts, they tend to be kind of in the more northern latitudes or the more southern latitudes and all that kind of stuff. And so this one was a little bit bigger. It was 50 to 60 meters. These are approximations, and in American, that's 160 to 200 foot. So pretty big. Not as big as a football field. But still, about 3/4 of a football field.
Thank you.
And so still pretty big. Came in at 27 kilometers per second, which is 60,400 miles per hour.
Breaking the speed limits.
Pretty fast. It exploded 5 to 10 kilometers up in the atmosphere, which is 3 to 6 miles, because it's bigger.
That's
it was
lower.
able to get a little bit lower.
Right.
And it exploded with, and this is an approximation, anywhere between 3 to 50 megatons of TNT, which is 200 to 3,300 Hiroshimas. I feel really bad.
For Japan?
Putting it in terms of Hiroshimas.
I know.
But it's something
that's the only we can actually
that we can
visualize
relate
that. We can visualize explosive energy in that context, because we've all seen the pictures, we've all seen videos,
the aftermath.
Yeah, and the testing of atomic bombs, we don't have that as like, oh, it's equivalent to the Bikini Beach testing.
It's one Tsar bomb, yeah.
So it's an unfortunate visual comparison, but it demonstrates the point, and it shows that the danger. And why it's important to, keep an eye out for asteroids, which I'm sure we'll talk about at the end a little bit more.
Yeah, so seismic stations registered the impact, the explosion above the ground, so the shockwave hits the ground.
It's going to vibrate. It's going to shake things up a little bit.
The shockwave itself was detected in Germany, Denmark, Croatia, the UK, and as far away as Batavia, the Dutch East Indies, and Washington, D.C.
Wow.
Yes.
They just felt little rumblings in the White House.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
And at night, people would see kind of like this eerily kind of bluish glow to the east towards Russia.
Oh.
And basically it was at the impact, it created all these really, really high level ice crystals in the atmosphere, and they were seeing.
I did not know this part.
Yes, light from those really high ice crystals. And interestingly enough, I did not know this until I was looking into this. The space shuttle does the same thing, but at a very small scale when it would launch and go through the atmosphere.
Interesting.
It would create these really high level ice crystals, but this did it on a much larger scale. It was the largest impact in recorded
Very
history.
important to note, recorded history.
Yes.
When humans were around to record things.
Yes, and so this is the largest in
We
recorded
haven't been
history.
around for a lot longer than we have been around.
And yes, and
yes, it makes sense.
very mega pigs. In a very eerie kind of way, the trees stand as silent witness to.
This is why
to
it's
this
my
impact.
favorite.
Yes, so over 80 million trees were affected by
I'm a
this
tree.
impact.
My arm is a tree.
Yes, and
Ready?
so keep it like that.
Okay.
This is a tree with Liz's arm that is directly underneath where that
Happy little
comet,
tree.
that ice comet or asteroid exploded. All of those trees stand straight up, but they have been stripped of leaves, of branches, and they're just husks. They're tree trunks that just stand straight up. Now, as you get further away, though, that shock wave flattens all the. It's not the direction I thought you were. I thought you were going to go like this.
Well, you're going from that way out, so I
Yeah.
thought I gotta go this way.
Oh, okay, that's fair. That's fair. And so it flattens out all the trees,
There we go.
and they lay radially out from these central trees that are standing up. And it was 2,150 square kilometers or 830 square miles. And so that is like if it's a circle. That is a circle with a diameter of 32.5 miles. So basically from here, so imagine from Oak Ridge, Arizona. Oak Ridge,
Because people know what Oak Ridge
Oregon.
looks like.
to Eugene, almost to Eugene,
Yeah.
Oregon. Every single
Tree?
tree laid down.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Since I know how many trees there are around here.
Yeah.
What it looks like. But yeah, you can go Google the pictures. We didn't bring up any
Oh, they're
pictures
great.
for this one, but go Google the pictures and you can see the trees laying flat, and it's really
It's,
an amazing sight, a wild sight.
yeah, and so it happens. Scientists did not even get to it for years later.
Yeah.
I think
It's
it was
also,
like
well, it's 1908, so it's a little hard to get into the
Yeah,
middle
so
of Siberia.
I think it was like a couple of years later, and it was like it was like Pippin and Mary being eaten by all the mosquito the little, not mosquitoes, but you know, what do they
What
eat?
do they eat if they can't eat scientists?
Exactly. So do we have to take a drink now?
Yeah.
But
We've
anyway,
identified it.
and then I think 10 years later they actually had like a geological kind of
Yeah, there was something going on in the world around that time. They couldn't get to it fast.
Yeah, 1908, the world gets a little dicey.
yeah.
It's also, again, in Siberia, so it's not easy terrain to get to and traverse.
Close to the impact, the shockwave broke glass and knocked people off their feet.
Yeah, and there was a rumor of an old man being like knocked off his rocker as he was like on his front porch.
Literally, he was on a rocker.
And a study of over 700 eyewitness accounts showed that there were at least 30 people inside the blast radius. And you had talked about no one dying before. Actually, 3 people passed away as a direct consequence of the airburst events. The first one was a direct hit from the shockwave, throwing the person against the tree, causing him to break his arm, leading to infection and dying. This second one was shock and exhaustion from the circumstances created in the events. And the third one was, quote, unknown, but possibly due to fire and falling unconscious.
Oh, okay. Indirect deaths.
Yeah, the first 2 are definitely indirect.
Indirect deaths.
I mean,
I want a
they
meteor
wouldn't
to
have
smack
died
somebody in the
without the
head, and then
impact.
we'll count
He
it.
was thrown against a
Yeah.
tree from the shockwave.
Look, everybody who's seen action movies knows you can be thrown against some shit real hard and be fine and keep fighting, all right? It doesn't affect you.
All right, to answer your mom's question, though, is there any radiation associated with these events? No.
Oh.
No, that's actually
I
a plot
wanted
point
to
for a
say
book we'll
yes.
talk about in The Hangover.
I wanted to say yes.
So, well, I mean, if it has like,
Why would there be radiation? Because it's not a fucking nuclear weapon. It's a rock.
yeah, I mean, if it had like uranium and stuff in it, then that's just gonna
maybe.
spread that uranium.
Yeah, but these are typically like if you're metallic, you're iron and nickel and
Yeah, there might be
whatever.
some uranium in there because of the way that uranium breaks down, but
not enough to cause any
Yeah.
kind of like radiation
No.
Yeah.
fallout. Although you would think, I don't know why we associate, because we're thinking in Hiroshima's, we're just assuming that there's radiation involved when it's not a nuclear weapon. It's just a fucking high-speed, big-ass rock from space.
yeah. I don't know why I did not think to put pictures in this. I think it was.
We have some things, though, later.
We do. All right. So.
Speaking of, let me know when you're ready for...
Yeah. All right. Let's leave Russia. Let's go to the Southwest U.S. Yeah. To Arizona. Let's
Woo!
go.
Arizona trash bag.
Well, not yet.
Okay, you'll have to let me know if you want
will.
video or picture.
Old.
Video first and then picture.
Okay.
Maybe.
All right. All right. So in Arizona, a little bit east of Flagstaff, Arizona, which is north of Phoenix, if you don't know where Flagstaff is, and I think a little west of Winslow, Arizona, where if you stand on the street corner and you get in a song or something. 50,000 years ago, a rock, which was 50 meters across or 160 foot across, is not even a rock. It was metal. It was
Big
boy.
it was
hunk of
metallic.
space metal.
Came in at 12.8 kilometers per second, which is 28,632 miles per hour. And it hit the ground and made a crater 1.2 kilometers across, or 0.7 miles. So roughly a mile.
Yeah.
It was a metallic asteroid, and it created a simple crater, and it is fascinating to stand and look out. Liz and I actually have a picture of ourselves in front of that crater.
I have a
You'd
stupid
love to.
picture of me in front of the crater, but I'm like doing a scare thing like an asteroid's
Oh,
coming.
you're doing
It's
the
so
thing.
stupid.
Yeah.
All right,
I mean, it's
go ahead and
fine.
do the
I allow it.
video.
I allow
Let's
it.
do the video. All right, so let's go back in time. Actually, this would be like what would happen today. So the asteroid comes in. We're going to follow the asteroid. I do not like these animations, so just I
Ooh.
don't like it.
Oh my gosh, it's great. Stop.
And so here we have we're going to have some circles that come up, and there is a
Oh,
little
this is cool.
red circle, and each one of these circles means something. So the little red circle is the crater, which is 1.2 kilometers across or 0.7 miles. However, though, things happen when impacts happen. So if this were to happen today, it would release 10.3. You could probably just switch over to the picture.
I did.
Oh, okay.
And you didn't even notice.
I didn't even
'cause I'm
notice.
that good.
On 10.3 megatons TNT, which is 686 Hiroshimas.
686 here. Okay. Cool.
Yep.
Great.
And this happens roughly every 673 years.
673 years?
Yeah.
And this happened 50,000 years ago?
Yeah, so we're overdue.
We're so overdue for something so majorly whether it's super volcano or an asteroid impact. We're so overdue.
Yes, we are. So roughly
Please hurry.
So roughly about every 1,000 years, we'll say.
Yeah, what year it happened?
50,000
years ago.
Yeah, 50,000 years ago. So that little yellow circle there, that is the circle that represents where buildings will collapse.
Orange circle is the buildings. Yellow is clothing.
Oh, the orange. That's right. I did it, Roy GBF. Yep. So the orange circle.
We made it a rainbow, so it's fun.
Yep. The orange circle is where buildings collapse, and all buildings within about 2.1 miles or 3.37 kilometers will be flattened.
Luckily, there were no buildings in the area.
Right.
50,000 years ago.
50,000 years ago. Just for reference, though, Flagstaff is about 57.8 miles. I'm sorry, kilometers away, which is 35.9 miles to the west. Winslow is about 27.7 kilometers or 17.2 miles to the east of this. And so, yeah, so lucky for them, they're not impacted too much.
Yeah, it's also 50,000 years ago.
Yeah. So up next, there is a little thing called clothing. This is where clothing ignites.
So if you're in that yellow circle, if you're in the boundary of the yellow circle, your clothing
will catch on fire.
Clothing goes up in
Lovely.
3.74 kilometers, which is 2.4 miles away from the center of the impact.
This gives a point to the nudists, though, because they're like, hey, we're not wearing clothing.
Except
skin also burns.
You end up with third-degree burns, which, thank you for the segue, is 5.77 kilometers away from the center, or 3.6 miles out. And you will get, that is the green. The blue shows you where you'll get second-degree burns from this, which is about 4.6 miles out from the impact. So as you can see, it's not just the impact. In fact, it's all the other stuff that kills you.
The fallout.
It's the fallout. And the furthest one is the Windows, and that is where Windows break. And Windows, that goes out 15.8 miles from the center of the impact. It would have created a 5.3 Richter scale earthquake.
Ooh, that's fun.
Yeah. Also, I found this kind of interesting. Wind speeds, 50 kilometers or 31.1 miles away.
Oh.
The wind speeds from the shock wave would be 6.63 meters per second, or about 15 miles per hour.
Oh.
So just a little slight breeze.
Breezy.
So
what is that breeze? Must be that
in
meteorite
Flagstaff,
breeze.
yeah, they'll
Am
be
I
getting the
talking
breeze.
about? We're getting that
Just a little
impact
breeze.
breeze.
There is a thing called overpressure. This is the pressure of the shock wave when it hits you. It's basically kind of the force you feel. This is really just only 0.03 atmospheres, 50 kilometers away, or 31.1 miles. 1 atmosphere is the weight of the atmosphere above you, and so you really wouldn't feel that at all.
Okay,
but we are going to find some that you would. So this obviously did not hit in the ocean, so there's no tsunami. However, if it did hit out in the middle of the Pacific, it would create a tsunami with a wave height of 464 feet.
Oh,
well, that's terrifying.
Ride that.
Yep.
Surfers of the world.
You only get one good ride. That's it. Obviously, the crazy thing with this is the website that I used to create, which is now my most favorite website ever. Thank you, Brandon.
Drop asteroids everywhere.
To get the data, it actually can tell you how many people will die and be injured, based on population density maps. So it's actually looking at actual data to try to.
Well, luckily, 50,000 years ago, those population density maps were 0.
And guess what? Today, 0 people dead, 0 people injured.
But we
Yay.
don't know about the animal populations, and I'm sure there were some that did not survive.
All right, so we're gonna stay in the U.S. We're gonna go to the eastern part of the U.S. We're gonna go to Chesapeake Bay, and so there with Maryland and Virginia and New Jersey and this orange piece of shit. What?
I said, let me know when you want me to play the video.
Right. No, I got you.
Okay.
There was an impact 35 million years ago.
That's where you get some good fucking crab and shit.
Yeah. Yep. It's called the Chesapeake Bay Crater, and it is a crater which is about 85 kilometers across, which is 52.8 miles. It's buried in sediment, and it was caused by a 2-kilometer asteroid, which is 1.2 miles. And that asteroid was going 17.8 kilometers per second, or 39,817 miles an hour.
A little fast. Oh, by the way, we didn't mention, though, that the reason why, if you look at the moon, you see all these craters, and you look at the Earth, you don't see evidence of all the craters, is because the Earth has a lot of fucking shit that wipes over the craters, like wind and water and lava, and we're geologically active, so we don't see the evidence of our history of impacts, unlike the moon doesn't have that shit, so we can see if we didn't have an atmosphere or oceans or plate tectonics, we'd look a lot like the moon.
Yeah. You can play either the video or the picture.
Roll the clip.
Rolling.
All right. So this asteroid impact released 1,265,000 megatons of TNT, which is 84.3 million Hiroshimas.
Oh, 84 million?
84.3.
I'm rounding down just for sanity. 84 million Hiroshimas. Holy shit.
Yeah, so this only happens every 6.27 million years. And this happened 35 million years ago. Overdue.
Cool. Great.
So for this one, I decided to bring up like the political map so you can see the U.S. and Canada and Mexico and all that kind of stuff. But as you can see, those circles much, much larger.
A little bit different than Meteor Crater in Arizona.
Yeah.
So the buildings collapse 104 miles out from the center of
Sure.
so
Yeah.
Washington D.C., Richmond,
Goodbye.
Virginia, Annapolis, Maryland.
Goodbye, all of American history artifacts.
Yep.
And also the devils that live within thee.
Right. If you're just out and about and you are within 306.3 miles from impact, your clothes are going to catch on fire.
Oh, you're just walking, and all
right.
of a sudden you're like, what?
Well, if you're like really hairy, that can't be a good day.
That's
No.
not a good day.
So, as you can see from this, it covers New Jersey, big
That's fine.
parts of Pennsylvania, parts of New York, South Carolina, North Carolina, or I should say parts of South Carolina, North Carolina, and parts of Tennessee. And third-degree burns extend 472.6 miles from the impact. Second-degree burns, 612 miles from the impact. And
Florida, just thinking they got fucking sunburns.
What's that?
I said Florida, thinking they got sunburns.
Yeah. And Australia's like, WTF, mate.
And your windows are going to break 788 miles away from.
Out at Jack's neighborhood, he's just like, what the I don't know where Iowa is on this map because there's no lines and shit.
Iowa's near,
I'm
going to be
assuming
near the
I'm
edge.
assuming
Yeah.
it's in there. You're just minding your business, all of a sudden your windows break out with nothing around to indicate
That'd be so
why that
annoying.
happened unless you get on the news. And then realize that a good chunk of the East Coast is then gone.
It's gone.
Right, and so, yeah, as you can see, basically the eastern half of the U.S. is dealing with a lot of broken windows. Southeastern Canada's got some issues.
Good thing they have universal health care.
I know, right? So this is where
Just,
this is where you can really start to see the effects of things
Yeah.
that happen. So
and that's just the immediate effects, not to mention what that would do to global climate.
oh, right.
Oh, yeah,
We didn't even talk about that.
We haven't even you didn't even think about the climate as a fallout.
I was like, oh my
effect.
god, I need to talk about the climate. All right, I'll do that. In
I
a
think we
second.
can do that with the next one.
The climate is fucked.
Lay it off. So an earthquake with a magnitude of 8.7 will happen. There was no tsunami associated with this because it actually did hit the tip of a little part that came down. It hit land. But if it had hit the Atlantic Ocean, a wave of water 1.8 miles high would come crashing into land there. And wind speeds 30 miles from impact. The winds would be going 1.58 kilometers per second. So to put that in American, 3,548 miles per hour.
That's like the speed of fucking Jupiter's Great Red Spot hurricane.
Yeah, basically that would hit you.
And you're gone.
And you would be gone. The overpressure, the shock wave that you would experience 31.1 miles is 39 atmospheres, atmospheres.
So the Earth's atmosphere times 39.
Yeah. So to put that into maybe a little bit more perspective, how far underwater would you have to be to feel that same pressure? 394 meters, which is 1,291 feet, which is not as far down as the Titanic. I did look it up.
Thank you. I was going to be like, and how close is the Titanic to that?
Yeah, no, the Titanic is much further down.
Okay.
Much further down. There would be 80.5 million people dead, 12.5 million people injured.
Jesus.
Wow.
Yes, and so.
Wow, but hey.
And that is an object that is 1.2 miles across. So, I mean, the bigger we get, the more damage.
Devastating.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, let's talk about one that did a lot of damage. A lot of damage. I'm going to take a drink for that.
I would just like to remind everyone that, remember we talked about Chicxulub, and we didn't see it coming.
Yeah.
Just saying.
The dinosaurs never saw it coming.
A lot of fucking asteroids out there. They also didn't have telescopes, to be fair, or an asteroid detection
the
program.
little hands that could
but
do the telescopes.
we have an asteroid detection program, and we should probably utilize it a little bit more.
So this is the this is
by
the
that I mean
sponsor
find
of
it.
today's show, the Chicxulub
Chicxulub.
asteroid.
Today's episode is sponsored by the Chicxulub.
This is in Mexico. Happened 66 million years ago. It was an asteroid that was 10 to 15 kilometers across, or 6.2 to 9.3 miles across. It has a crater of 180 kilometers, discovered by people that were looking for oil deposits. 180 kilometers is 111.8
Walter Alvarez
miles.
Jr. I remember that name.
Walter
Oh, but he didn't
Alvarez
discover it. He
No.
discovered the KT boundary, which
I thought, shit.
is the KT
yes.
boundary that brings
So
drinking.
Alvarez. Okay, so side story. This is gonna be like a 4-hour episode. A side story is the actual crater discovered by like Exxon, those fuckers, looking for oil deposits. But Alvarez was a geologist, and he was looking at strata, and he found what is the stuff that makes up the KT boundary? Iridium. I think it's no. Is it iridium?
Well, he found a line of material.
It's also called the KPG boundary.
Yeah, that's the newest name.
And
KT, I think, is the older.
This boundary is worldwide.
Yeah.
So it points to a massive event. It also is worldwide about 66 million years ago by dating stuff. And
you mean we find evidence of a worldwide catastrophic event happen that wasn't a flood?
Yes. But the stuff that makes up that layer comes from space. It does not. You don't
Insert
really find
X-Files
it.
theme.
I was just thinking that.
You don't really find it here. Like a volcano erupts, it's not going to
leave a layer of.
I want to say iridium, but I might be thinking those satellites. But anyway,
Google it right now.
Yeah, and so he was the first to say, "Hey, an asteroid killed the dinosaurs 66 million years ago."
It's iridium.
Iridium. And people were like, go fuck yourself, you're wrong. And it turns out he's pretty much right. And it's his son. I mean, it's him and his son now that are. Anyway.
It's the boundary is typically a thin, dark layer, sometimes containing shocked quartz, microtectites, which are tiny glass spherules, and soot, which indicate intense heat and impact.
Mm-hmm.
It's a thin clay layer rich in iridium.
Yeah, and this event ended the Cretaceous period and the dinosaurs.
Rip little dinosaurs all over my dress. Although they don't all existed at the same time, I don't think, but whatever.
And yeah.
So if this happened today, 195,223,300 megatons of TNT, which is 13 billion Hiroshimas.
13 billion.
Okay.
That's as old as the universe. 13 billion Hiroshimas. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Luckily, this happens roughly every 320 million years.
Okay.
So not overdue.
Not overdue.
Not overdue.
We have some time to do what? What are we gonna do? Nothing.
So, I mean, to talk about the shit that this would do, your clothes are going to catch on fire. You're going to have 3rd-degree burns, 2nd-degree burns. All of that goes to 1,500 kilometers, 932 miles. And at that point, if you're beyond that 1,500 kilometers, the curvature of the Earth saves you from those burns and that type of thing. So your clothes are not going to catch on fire. You're not going to get all those burns just because of the curvature of the Earth.
Geometry saves you in the...
Yes, right? The buildings are going to collapse. Basically, they're just going to collapse 560 miles away from the impact. So southern part of the U.S. and Mexico is just gone. Windows are going to break 4,227 miles away. So here in Oak Ridge, our windows are just going to shatter. There will be a 10.2 Richter
it goes
scale.
over 10?
Yeah, well, in this case,
Well,
yeah.
we haven't seen it yet, but
Earthquake. A tsunami that is 3.7 kilometers high or 2.3 miles. That is as high as you can get. And that actually did
that's as
happen.
high as you can get.
Yes, because the water is going to prevent it from going any higher.
Wow.
And that actually did happen because this hit water. And I thought
Too bad the dinosaurs didn't know how to surf.
I thought that I had a list of how the day played out for the dinosaurs from impact to
I know I've seen it in documentaries
Yeah.
we've watched where it's not a great day.
So that tsunami goes out, but then rides the friggin' Mississippi River up, and
Tom
basically
Sawyer's
goes even
getting
further.
Point Break, Tom Sawyer.
Yeah, and it.
That was.
I'm sorry, I just read Brandon's addition to the notes. Yeah, and if it happened today, 3.53 billion people dead.
Just the initial,
yeah, 353 million people hurt.
Yeah.
But the thing about this is, it throws so much stuff up into the atmosphere, all this dust, which then blocks out the sun.
So you're looking at like a mini ice age situation.
Yeah, and then you have a mini ice age.
And non-breathable like atmosphere.
Right.
Is it a mini ice age or is it an actual ice age?
Oh, it's mini. It's mini because it doesn't last.
Eventually,
it's a big mini ice age.
Yeah, it's a big mini ice age, but that dust eventually
It's a medium ice age.
But what have we learned from book club, Brandon? What gets thrown up into the atmosphere while all this is happening?
Everything gets thrown up into the atmosphere.
Well, that's true. That's true, but a lot of water vapor. Water vapor is a greenhouse gas.
So things are gonna... Guess what? You think climate change is gonna get bad now? It's gonna get a lot fucking worse.
Yes. So that wiped out the dinosaurs. It would wipe out us. But the largest crater that we have, and I'll just go...
Ooh, but what can follow mammals? We followed the dinosaurs.
And really quick, speaking about that, we actually do have some idea of some quotes from the dinosaurs when they saw the asteroid.
Oh, yes. Okay.
And some of it's conjecture, so I like to think that they said...
Is that the spitter ones? The spitter ones?
Yes. that was a direct quote.
Thank you, Brayden.
I'll just go fast through the rest of the stuff.
What do you want? I have...
Not yet.
Okay.
The Redforth crater, which is in South Africa, happened about 2 billion years ago. It was an asteroid about 12.4 to 15.5 miles across. And came in between 34,000 and 56,000 miles per hour. It left a crater, largest crater known, 300 kilometers or 186.4 miles.
Wow.
If it happened today, it would be equivalent to 104 billion Hiroshimas.
So we're all dead.
Yes, and it occurs every 1.62 billion years, so we're overdue.
We're overdue for so many shit. So much shit.
Buildings collapse 1,117 miles away. The shock wave itself heats the atmosphere to a plasma 91.4 miles away from... Plasma is found on the sun, guys.
Plasma only belongs on a star.
Yes. 10.8 Richter scale. Earthquake. Again, maximum height on the tsunami, if it were to hit the ocean, this one didn't, but 2.3 miles. Nobody injured because everybody is dead. 8.25 billion people dead.
Yeah.
Which is everybody on Earth.
You gotta think there's like some dude like 2 miles underground that survives it, but then will die afterwards.
All of the people that had their fucking bunkers made for nuclear holocaust, they're all laughing until they go, oh wait, we can't actually survive long term in these.
All right, so I'm just going for these next two. They're going to be hit in the same place. These are hypothetical, and I just like hypothetically picked.
Oh, okay, now it's
off the coast of Florida.
Right, because let's be honest.
No, it's just off the coast of Florida.
It's Florida.
It's Florida. just off
Florida.
the southern part of Florida, off
Yeah.
the coast, on the eastern side of the state.
There's nobody that's remotely in power that goes over there a lot.
And for this, it's for this particular one, a 1 kilometer or 0.6 mile asteroid coming in at 20 kilometers per second, which is about 45,000 miles per hour. It would hit with 13 million Hiroshimas. This happens about once every 1.46 million years.
Do you want to
Probably
put it in a
overdue.
picture?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is this the right one?
No, this is
No.
the other one.
Is this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, no, I'm sorry. Yes, it's the other one. My mistake.
All right, here you go.
So, just off the coast there, and as you can see, it would do a lot of damage all the way up to the Carolinas and Georgia, a little bit of Alabama there, down
Every
into Cuba.
single person in Florida, for the most part, except for the
Oh.
Panhandle, is getting fucking second-degree burns.
And Kennedy Space Center is gone.
At the
Yes.
least.
So, if you're wearing clothes, you don't have to worry about those clothes 141 miles away from the impact.
No more laundry.
No
Hell
more
yeah.
laundry.
I mean, that's nice.
Basically 217 miles away, be third-degree burns. 281 miles, be second-degree burns. Windows break 423 miles away. If you're standing 31.1 miles away from the impact, you are going to feel a breeze of 1,685 miles an hour.
That's
Slight
a
breeze.
big fucking breeze. Wait, how far away?
31.1 miles.
Okay.
Yeah.
You should have added breeze as a circle on here.
The overpressure, the shock wave, what you feel is 9.6 atmospheres, which would be you're underwater 264 feet.
Okay.
So you're really kind of feeling that pressure
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah. It's heavy.
8.4 million people dead,
Goodbye.
2.89 injured. The next one is...
I was gonna make I kind of want to make this joke.
Well, do it.
All right, it's Florida, so a lot of those people are already about to be dead anyway.
All right, off.
You're welcome. Everybody goes to retire there. They're all elderly. All right.
So then I was like, what is the average size of an NEA or near-Earth asteroid? Lay it off, please.
She's fine.
Go lay
Just
down.
let her encroach on your personal space.
Go lie down. So I decided 100 meters.
Okay, this is the other one.
Yes. So this
There you
this
go.
is something that would happen every 6,670 years.
6,000
670 years.
666 years.
Yeah, you can do that if you like.
6,666
66 years.
years. Yeah.
666.
Yeah, cool.
0.
6,660 years.
And it would hit with the intensity of 13,000 Hiroshimas. So not as much as the other one.
One Hiroshima is too much, people. One.
So actually from this you can see that it's going to cause a little bit of issues, but
Honestly, the placement of this is fine.
yeah, and I did put it in the ocean. By the way, the tsunami for the previous one, the height of it is 5,800 feet, or about 1 mile, a little over 1 mile.
Okay.
Jesus.
Well, we know 2.3 miles is the highest it can get.
Yes. The tsunami that originates from this is going to be just 963 feet.
Oh, sure.
Only. Sure.
Only.
You remember watching that like surfer movie documentary where it's like, hey, we're going to do 100 foot?
Yeah, yeah.
And this is 10 times that.
Look, we're going to assume that this didn't come from the direction of the sun, so people had ample warning and evacuated. For those that weren't stubborn, it didn't evacuate, except for the person that likes to look at solar eclipses with their own eyes.
Yeah. 5,410 people dead, 2,320 injured. If you are standing 31.1 miles away, the overpressure, the shock wave would be 0.1 atmosphere. So it'd be like, interesting.
I'm feeling
a little pressure,
bit.
but then the wind
just
speed,
anxiety.
the wind speed would be 55 miles an hour.
Oh, I'd have a problem.
That is tropical storm strength winds.
Oh, okay. So in Florida, though, they're
It's
like,
like-
this is fine.
Which they're used to. which they're used to.
Misses.
So, yeah. And so that's some impacts with some notable knocks with a couple hypotheticals.
So really, the moral of all of this is that we need to have a lot more funding than we do now into looking out for asteroids. You know, we have telescopes around the world that are looking for asteroids and keeping track of near Earth asteroids and all that good stuff, but there are we have a lot of blind spots, and we're not able to track nearly the amount that we need to track, because there's so many of these objects out there that can just, as we've seen with Chelyabinsk, take us by surprise.
Yeah, which is really cool about like Vera Rubin, is that Vera Rubin's looking for other shit, but the way that Vera Rubin looks at the sky, it can see a lot of these like asteroids and
that's good.
And discover some of these like near Earth asteroids
and honestly, we understand physics and math where we can then say, hey, we can know the trajectories, and we can tell, you know, if something is able to hit us or not. And that was the important part of the DART spacecraft, was by purposefully impacting an asteroid with a spacecraft, you know, it was able to be a test of like, can we actually influence the trajectory to nudge something out of the way if it is going to impact us. And it showed that, yeah, we can.
Right.
You know, we could redirect, but the caveat is we have to have ample warning. We need time to develop that technology. Like, ideally, I would say we would need to have like spacecrafts on the ready to be able to be deployed as needed.
Some kind of space force.
Oh yeah. You know,
but it's not military.
But I think that the problem is that for our species of humanity, we've become way more ADHD, you know, and not to, be offensive to those who have ADHD or anything like that. But we're very much if it doesn't happen immediately, we don't think about it. It doesn't matter to us. You know, we like immediate like climate change is one example of that, where climate are weather patterns over time, weather being a day-by-day basis, but because the time frames of climate are so long, we don't see immediate effects. We initially believe, oh, it's not real, it's not happening, I don't see the effects, so that's just bullshit. When it's like, no, you know, wait for it, it's coming, you know. So we need preventative measures now in order to mitigate the consequences of a future event. We're gonna get hit by something. It's not up for debate. There's no betting on, you know, if it'll happen. It will happen. We will get hit by something, but it's how prepared we are for such an impact, you know, and what our response is going to be towards it. And there's definitely not enough people that are thinking about this on the Earth, you know. It is I would say one of the primary concerns of life on Earth.
Can I just say that I think there's not enough people in power that are thinking about this, that are that are pulling the levers of government. That I think that there are astronomers and scientists that are thinking about this, and
they are the only ones
looking
thinking
at
about
it. But you know, and so, you know, but at the end of the day, the physics of an impact is nothing more than the physics of a car crash.
But also, this at the same time, we could prepare up the wazoo for something like this and still be caught unawares and still have something, an extinction event level impact from this that we won't be able to fucking do anything about.
I mean, the good news is that we are smart enough, even though we don't always act like it, that if we do with that long window that you're talking about, we have the ability to not go the route of the dinosaurs.
But they couldn't develop telescopes.
Right.
They didn't have thumbs. Right?
that we
She didn't have
can
thumbs.
not only
That's all you
save
need.
ourselves, we can save all the pigs, all the
We gotta save all the pigs.
all the
Marine life will largely be fine.
all the 80-pound dogs that I learned about today, all the horses, all of that kind of stuff. And so it's we have the ability to not only save ourselves but save everything else, and we just need to stop being so selfish. And
We can save something at some point until we can't.
I mean, I'm fine with getting rid of mosquitoes and gnats and things like that, but anyway, so that is our look
Woo.
at asteroid impacts so that we could talk about a book club book in The Hangover. But anyway, in a couple weeks, we will be back
With a high in the sky
with
for
a high in the sky.
April, and it ain't no fool's joke. It'll be a
And-
high in the sky. I know, that was bad. That was
Yeah,
really
I'm
bad.
good with it.
Whatever, it was fine.
And Liz and I might have new tattoos. It's going to be great in 2 weeks.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. We'll see how it all
Cool.
goes. So, join us in a couple weeks. Until then, everybody stay safe, stay healthy, resist, and I don't know.
And go pet a
to the
dog.
sky.
Go pet a dog.
Cheers.
Everybody go pet a dog. Go to your local shelter and pet a dog. Bye.
Bye.
If you're with us now live, stick around. We will be right back with The Hang.
Over. That's a new theme
What?
song.
I want to be on it. I want to be on the
Hangover.
microphone.
You're on the microphone.
No, you're like.
No, you have a more boom. Oh wait, what's happening? Where are
what's
we?
happening?
I didn't put us on the right. Here we are. We're here. Apologies. We were stuck in a black hole for a second. But we're here and we're live for the Hangover with Cosmos. Where our initial episode was talking about killer space rocks, asteroid impacts on the Earth, because the Hangover is for book club, Cosmos Book Club, about the Calculating Stars by something Knowles. Marianne?
Robinette Kowal.
Robinette Kowal. Yes, I butchered that. I apologize. You can give me negative feminist points for not
It's a
remembering
trilogy?
the author. Is it a
It is a trilogy, yes.
I
Yes, it
actually
is.
just finished the second book to
Ooh.
the trilogy, and I actually enjoyed the second book a little bit more than the first book, but we're only going to talk about the first book, The Calculating Stars, in this episode of The Hangover. Now, in our main episode, we did explode a lot of shit. We hit the Earth with some real asteroids that hit the Earth, some meteor impacts, and then some hypothetical impacts off the coast of Florida near somewhere that some people visit.
And this book is also about a hypothetical asteroid impact.
It is.
But hits like Chesapeake, that kind of area.
This is a historical fiction.
Historical fiction, yeah. And it's the asteroid ends up being something like 10.2 miles.
We basically avoided. No, this is after World War II.
This is the 1950s, yeah.
Yeah, and we avoided the Cold War, essentially,
because of an impact.
Because of this impact,
and that was an interesting plot point as well. So yeah, set in 1950s, and in the first like 3 pages of the book, a big asteroid hits off the coast of the eastern United States, and for a good chunk of the story thereafter, it's trying to convince the military that Russia was not involved somehow. Like it was not a nuclear bomb, or that Russia did not nudge it to strike the East Coast.
Which the thought. Just the thought of Russia at this time being able to nudge an asteroid to just hit off the east coast of the U.S. is...
I mean, I think it kind of struck the right chord of a stubborn military guy saying this can't just be by accident. Somebody had to have done this, so it must be Russia.
And actually, I think that relates to just modern day today, where I think that like a good chunk of at least America would think that there was some intent behind something. You know, there has to be something nefarious. It couldn't just be random happenstance that.
But insurance would have called it act of God. Not act of Russia.
Fuck all of insurance. They should cover act of gods, because isn't that what the point of fucking insurance is for? Like, if you have a fucking wildfire that takes over your house. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Calculating Stars. You have your 2 primary characters, which are Emma.
Yeah.
I'm so Elma York and her husband Nathaniel York. I'm so bad at remembering like things that I read in detail. Like I pick up the like themes and gist and the feelings and stuff, but fine details of like names and shit are very bad if I'm reading it. I'm a visual learner, which is why I'm very excited for Hail Mary. Okay, but so you have Elma York and her husband Nathaniel York. They're both he's an engineer and she is a WASP pilot. So in World War II, women were pilots of ferrying planes back and forth, not doing any actual like dogfighting kind of things, because they're women and they have vaginas and God forbid they enter combat.
So she was in one aerial combat.
Yes, which she was a badass for, and she survived.
Because the reason why she was badass is because she's flying this plane. She's got 3 German planes on her, Messerschmitts, and she has no ammunition in her plane.
Yeah, because...
But she managed to get 2 of them to crash.
Mm-hmm.
and then the third one flew away, and the assumption is that the guys with ammunition shot it down or something. But
Yeah. God, yeah. She couldn't do any of
Mhm.
this on her own. So she is a female pilot.
well,
And
she was
she was a
she was
female
a WASP
pilot.
during World War II.
Yeah, but she's still a pilot.
She's still a pilot,
a pilot who is female. She still has the skills to pilot, and they have their own Cessna private, plane that she flies them, and it starts out with them in like a cabin in the woods, just having a little away time from civilization as a husband
Lucky
and
for
wife,
them.
and just having a nice little a fun weekend for themselves, and then all of a sudden the ground starts shaking and they're like, what the fuck? And it turns out to be this huge meteor impact that had occurred off in the Chesapeake Bay
Yeah.
area.
But also her job also, like in real life at this point, is that she's a computer.
Right.
Right. So she does all the calculations for like her husband does the launches. He put the first satellite and then the first manned mission and all that kind of stuff, and so she did all the calculations and stuff.
Doing
during
math,
the flight,
which is not something that I can relate to because my brain does not work in a mathematical way.
But here's the thing, and I can't artfully say it. And I tried to artfully say it to you, but it didn't. I don't think it landed.
Let's hear it.
So when I was in high school, girls were told be teachers.
Yeah.
Go into nursing. Stereotypical women jobs.
Yeah.
Stay away from science. Stay away from math.
I didn't go to a single school counselor in high school.
Okay. But
for any direction.
But even like in real life, forget this alternative history that the calculating
no, that
stars
rings
does.
true. That is legit.
That women were doing the math. They were the computers. Not only was it women that were doing it, you also had African American women that were doing it. And the whole thing is women can't do this, stay away from it. Meanwhile, they're putting fucking people into space.
I never once experienced any authority figure of an adult imply in any way that any woman, any girl, and these are girls because I'm talking about.
You also grew up in California.
I did grow up in California, so I didn't have any, I didn't realize, I could be an archaeologist. I didn't know I could be an astronomer. I didn't know I could do all these things because I didn't have any kind of, there wasn't any adult figure that was like, here are the paths to get to these kind of things. I didn't have any kind of mandatory counselor meetings or anything like that. And so was like, I'm not good at math, so I can't do these kind of things. I don't know what I can do. And I was aimless for a while until I was like, I like historical things. I'll be a history teacher, which didn't obviously pan out because I went into the Planetarium field where I don't need to know fucking math. And that's a cool fucking shit. So yeah, no, and I think that women are not encouraged to go into these fields that are just are supposed to be dominated by men,
male dominated,
kind of thing. So I think that is still true to this day. Maybe not as much as they were.
It's getting better.
Or I think that women today or young girls today are more empowered, or they know that they have more empoweredness. That's a horrible English.
I think it was getting better. I don't know if it is currently on the same trajectory anymore.
It was getting better, yes.
But this actually was a theme in the book. Mm-hmm. Not so much the guidance counseling shit, but just like the
women can't do this.
Yeah,
women can't do this. The gatekeeping.
And it's more like women are they're
docile
fragile. They need to make babies, so we need to keep them safe. We need to keep them in this protective bubble of being in the home and doing these things rather than being in anything that's could be dangerous or cause their death.
Right, and one of the points as to why they didn't want women flying or women going to space in the book is that, well, imagine if a woman dies in space, the public backlash that would come and how much funding would be lost by that.
Which is, to me, so fucking ridiculous, because it's like it's just like oh, what the fuck is that mentality? It's like, if anyone dies in space, there's going to be a public backlash and funding issues,
Oh, yeah.
but at the same time, it's like, well, you have people going to space for the first time. There's gonna be fucking shit that happens.
And
like,
which we haven't even mentioned this. It's not like a spoiler for the book, but the reason why they're trying to get to space is because when the asteroid hit, it really fucked up the environment to the point where in like 75 years, something like that, the Earth would be uninhabitable.
And that's because, and we talked about this in our first episode, so check out the main episode for Killer Space Rocks, The Revenge Tour. But the water vapor, the water vapor that was kicked up from the hypothetical impact in the calculating stars led to basically climate change, an increase in climate change that the Earth was going to see. And this is before, a time period before we realized that climate change is a thing and is going to happen to us currently in reality, but this is where they're like, oh shit, this water vapor, it's a greenhouse gas, it's going to trap heat. And so eventually, over time, we're not going to be able to survive here as humanity, so we need to start developing the technology and getting to elsewhere that we can live, like Mars.
They have graphic calculations that say in X amount of years, the oceans will begin to boil.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, shit, we gotta go. We gotta go now.
What I found really interesting about the book is that it's so good at paralleling how, because, and I mentioned this in the main episode, that as a society, and this is even before, like, the time period that's taking place in is before iPads, right? It's before Netflix.
1950s.
It's before we need immediate gratification for everything. But it shows how, because things aren't happening immediately, that the general public starts to lose focus on the consequences from the meteor, and they think that life is going to continue as normal, whereas you have the scientists and the astronauts are like, no, we have to have the funding for this, for the survival of humanity, and the general public is like, and the governments are like, why do we need we don't want to fund this because blah blah blah, we have more concerns here on the Earth.
One of the great points that Coral did, the writer, is, DC is wiped out, so they had to go through the line of succession to find who in the government is still alive to become president. They had to go all the way down to the head of agriculture, Department of Agriculture head, which actually worked out in this case, because when he was presented the data, it's like, oh, we have a 2.5 degree difference that's going to kill these crops because it's going to render this land infertile, and so he understood the implications immediately. Would it happen with anyone else? Probably not.
No. But you still then have the public that, we know sways government action, and so when you have then the public, like, people are starving, people need homes, because from this impact in the book, you have a lot of people that are displaced, they're refugees in our own country, they lost their homes, their families, there's not, they need food and shelter and medical care and all this stuff. And so there are people that are like that they don't understand, they don't see the need for this, they can't understand how the Earth is going to change in the long run. They are only focusing on the immediate need of, these people are starving, these people are whatever, and so it's like, why are we funding this space program when we need to be focusing on taking care of these people now, not realizing that while funding the space program, this is what keeps humanity surviving, our species surviving, past the immediate now and into the future, which it parallels today in climate change, the issues with climate change. People don't see the issue because climate is over time, whereas weather is immediate. People don't understand the difference, and so they can't foresee how climate change is going to have such a negative impact on all of our way of lives and humanity.
And that's kind of amplified in the book, because before the Earth warms up, it gets really cold first. So the Earth gets cold for a couple of years first.
We have snowballs. You got the Jim Imhoffs in the fucking with their snowballs. Like, dude, you're so dumb. So it really it does a good job, and I don't know if this was the intention of the author, but it really parallels that whole the immediacy and of climate change and our actions towards climate change in a very
Mhm.
dramatic,
Oh, yeah.
but at the same time, an asteroid impact or a comet impact, really would be a big, probably metallic asteroid impact.
Mhm.
How that can come out of nowhere, and B, really fuck shit up on the Earth, and are we prepared
Yeah.
for it? And the answer is absolutely not.
Oh no, absolutely not.
We're definitely not prepared for it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the way that she did it was, she was able to make a comment about climate change
There's a lot of commentary.
without specifically saying climate change, human caused climate change.
Mhm.
She wrapped it into an
Asteroid
asteroid.
caused
Mhm.
climate change.
Yeah, and you kind of hope that the reader makes the leap.
Mhm.
Which I bet you that any reader that picks up this book is savvy enough to actually make that leap.
Yeah. I mean, it would be good for anybody that's on the opposite side of the
But
viewpoint
We
to
assume they could read.
I'm not sure that they're going to make that leap. It's going to be that hey, this was all an asteroid, and so that type of thing, and you don't make the leap. Humanity is basically
Of
doing kind
water
of the same
vapor
thing.
equating to carbon dioxide as a
Humanity is the
greenhouse
asteroid.
gas. Yeah, humanity's.
Yeah, humanity's the asteroid.
I mean, but in addition, it also had other themes of like feminism and racism and
Sexism.
um
Yeah.
all of that
All
good
the
stuff.
isms.
All the isms were incorporated, which is what people experienced in the 60s during
In the 50s,
the space
yeah.
race, through that time period where it was, like watch Hidden Fences, and
Yeah,
these.
so it's like they fly the plane, they get back to the Air Force Base, and then they stay at somebody's house.
Yeah, they say at
Colonel
Helen.
Parker?
The
No,
Parkers,
not
no.
Colonel Parker.
No,
She
not
hates
Parker.
Colonel
Okay.
Parker because
Oh, right.
he's
Wrong guy. Wrong guy.
misogynist and a little.
Right, and then but the lady was like,
Helen
"Oh,
and they're an African American couple.
right. Okay. But she was like, "Oh, we have to go get you a dress and things like that." And so, it was all about that like
Your
1950s.
appearance and your maintaining.
Yeah. Let's
Which is funny because half the country was just wiped out, and you're like, well, yeah, all right, I need to go get a dress.
Right.
I need to go clean myself up and get a dress.
Yeah, go
Yes.
get your dress. And
women always have to maintain appearances. We cannot be, we can't have makeup on or dress nicely or behaving in a way that's not with proper etiquette.
I'm gonna say yes to that, and I'm not just saying it to say yes, but I think
Are you saying yes to the dress?
Yeah, say yes to dress.
That there is, and this compounds it. This compounds it for women. There is like the experience that you have where you have to, appearances and things like that. And then there is the southern version of we have to keep up appearances, which makes it even more difficult for women.
Because Elma York, the main character, she's a Southern Jew.
Yeah.
So there's like, it's like a battle of cultures, the Southern culture, Jewish culture, and then also women and the culture of being a woman at this time.
Her grandparents, right? Or parents live in Charleston.
Her grandma lived in Charleston. Her parents were, I think, closer to DC or something, and they were obliterated.
Yeah.
Any impact.
So, but yeah, it's just like
Jack has 50-mile-per-hour wind. How much?
What's that impact?
What's that impact wind?
It was that 1 kilometer impact. It must have hit just east of Iowa somewhere.
Ironically, I'm in a dress for this.
Check out our main episode as to why that means something. But anyway, yeah, I mean, it's I've read it, and then then I've read a bunch of books after that,
I read it and then I jumped to the second in the series. So the Faded Sky, is that the
Faded
second one?
Skies, yes.
Yeah.
I'm in that.
So
one
I've
right
gone
now.
back to
Or I
reading
finished
it.
actually.
I'm only halfway through it. And so I think I'll finish the trilogy, but yeah, I mean, just Southern, and I remember just as a kid
Mhm.
living in the South where I grew up, just thinking about how like my grandmother was all about appearances,
Right,
and
yeah.
she was
Very...
1950s, you know, so she was like she was born in like 1918, I think. So in the
Wow.
50s she was, what is that, 32 in 1950. This book takes place 52, 55, so she was 34 to 37 years old.
Just...
And you know,
she would die as you know, if I met her at my age when she was that age.
yeah,
Oh.
my grandmother, every time, you know, before you even see her, she is dressed.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
grandfather dressed
Yeah.
to impress.
It's all like just the concept of getting like putting on all the fucking shit just to go to
And
like
it's
the grocery
humid
store.
in the South too.
Like,
Yeah,
fuck,
it
I'm
is.
just wearing yoga pants and a fucking loose shirt.
Yeah,
Fuck.
so yeah, I mean, it's all about appearances for women, and especially from the South. And so but this takes place, at least where I'm at, it's in Ohio.
And it goes to Kansas.
It goes again. They
Kansas,
make the
yes.
main base in Kansas City, Missouri, because they can't do it
Because
closer
that's
to the
the
East Coast.
that's the new capital. DC.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
moved
Capital
it
to
from
Because
Kansas
DC,
everything
which
else
is
is
obliterated,
by this fucking meteor.
to Kansas, because it's in the middle of the country where supposedly an impact can't get you.
Yeah,
But
it's so interesting how it's believable in the writing how after this devastating natural event happens, wiping out just the loss of life from this is just insane, right? And the just infrastructure and all the fucking damage and everything is just wild. Yet you still have just the same racism, the same sexism, the same thought process. It's the same culture that permeates through this event that is like, you know, that's actually believable, instead of like wanting everything like, oh, everybody will come together and realize we're all humans and that we can all help to make everything better. No, it's just
Like,
it's just taking the status quo and just
shifting
you're just moving it to the, you know, you're just moving it.
Like,
yeah.
they didn't start bringing African Americans in on planes until much later.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it was still like had that kind of thing. Now I do want to say that I did get annoyed at the main character, Elma. I like the second book better, only because it took me a bit to get used to the character development, because when I read things, my preference is that I like to read or I like to watch females who are already confident and powerful and badass.
Okay.
I don't
That's
like
fair.
to read about realistic
the
women
journey.
dealing with their
The
own
journey.
anxiety and their own insecurity and being demure,
Yeah,
or
but that's
trying
not the
to
reality of the
satiate the
situation.
I know. I don't want to read about reality. I want my Xenas,
You wanna
and I
be
want my
transported.
Buffys, and I want my She-Ras. I
On
want
day
my
one.
confident fucking women from
but,
day
you know,
one.
with
So it was hard for me as a woman reading this a book authored by a woman, to have such like a real woman that I'm
Complexity.
reading with complexity and dealing with anxiety in terms of like okay, which caveat, the amount of vomiting that takes place in this fucking book, the mentions of the amount of vomiting, she gets she gets very bad anxiety when she's placed in front of like the public and having to do interviews and speaking to people where she like vomits fucking everywhere. And there's so many scenes of vomiting in this book that I was like, wow, we're really doing a lot of vomiting. So much talk about vomiting.
Maybe, but it's a reality.
The vomiting
thing.
gets less in the second book, but there's still a lot of occasions of talking about vomiting.
It tackled eating disorders pretty well as well.
But I do want to say that like confidence is a journey. It's always a journey.
Yeah, but
nobody is born with full on confidence.
I know.
As a white male, I'm not sure about that.
No, even as a white male, you're not born with full on confidence. You earn confidence by living, and sure, as a white male, and especially white male privilege. Not saying that it's necessarily you, but it. So I'm talking like rich people with this.
No,
is
that both of you are white male and privileged in some sense.
Well, just by saying, just by being white. Hold on. Okay, just by being white male, you are privileged.
Yes.
But then there is the added white male rich privilege, and that is not necessarily me. And then they get, I'm comfortable. I am that. But, people that are born white, male, rich get that extra confidence injection early on when they can boss around the help to do things.
I think being born rich is not being born on food stamps.
You guys...
you got a meal every time.
Immediately make me lose what I wanted to say. I actually had a point, but I don't remember what it is now.
I didn't interrupt your point. You could just.
I don't remember it. So continue.
Okay.
Continue.
I've been staying quiet.
I swear I don't remember what it is. So continue.
Well, my point is just that this is one of the reasons why when I read The Hunger Games, I hated Katniss, because she was so like unsure and just like wishy-washy about things. And so it makes me have an issue when I'm reading a woman that's like, I don't know, and doesn't just like be like, fuck this motherfucker. Like there's one character in the book, Parker, Captain Parker. I don't know what his rank is.
Stenson Parker.
Stetson Parker is his whole name, and she actually like reported him for taking advantage of women, using his rank to take advantage of women sexually.
She reported to her dad, right? Who was like
her dad. She was a woman of privilege because her dad was a general, and so she wasn't. So there was like low consequences on her for one because her dad's a general, and so there's this immediate conflict when she's reintroduced to Parker in this book and has to actually work with him and stuff. Which in the second book there's an interesting kind of progression on that relationship, which is interesting to read. But so for me, for my preferences when I'm reading, it's harder for me to read about a woman struggling with various things because I don't want to fucking deal with that in a book. I want to read about a woman that's already fucking like, and tearing shit up and like is just gonna be like, fuck the patriarchy or fuck social norms or whatever, because it's like that's what I want to see in my heroines. But I understand how this isn't like that type of book, and it is a historical fiction, and it does keep true to what I would feel like if a real person, Elma York, existed in this time during the circumstances with her background and how she would behave, which she handled.
I do think she has her moments, though.
She does have her moments. She does, and she does end up being like, she does go to space, and she does end up.
She goes on TV, becomes a figure, owns the anxieties.
Yeah, and so it's very interesting. And unfortunately, because I'm reading the second book now, like that's more prevalent in my mind and I feel like in the second book I actually relate to her a little bit more, and I've understood her journey a little bit more, that I appreciate her character more for the second book. And the second book I think is I like the second book more just because of what happens in it, and just the character development, and just my understanding and appreciation of how the characters have developed. But it is a interesting, I mean, she does have, being a white woman in this book in the 50s, she has a lot of privilege already, even though it's like, it's interesting how she has moments she where she recognizes it, and she goes, oh, because there's the black women that are then encountering an obstacle, and then they say something, they explain something to her, and then she has this moment of like, I did not fucking think about it that way. Those aren't her words at all. But you see that realization of like I'm an idiot, like I didn't even think about it that way. Like, oh my gosh,
Yeah, well, we all look at the world
and
through
I
our
think
own
that
lenses.
happens to everybody, where it's like you can only see the world through your own eyes, and every single person on this planet can only experience reality in the world in one way, which is through their own eyes, because you cannot inhabit anybody else's body and their minds. But that is why we have things like empathy and sympathy, where you try to place yourself, or you understand what somebody's been through.
And sympathy.
Well, empathy depends on if you can't have experienced something the same. Sympathy, where you can then put yourself in someone's shoes and then be like, okay, I understand if I was in your shoes.
Right. I still stand by. Some of us have sympathy.
Some of us don't give a shit. Some of us could care less about how other people feel, and we can see that clearly in certain leaderships of the
For
world.
more on that, look at our main episode where we drop space rocks places.
Yeah. And there's so it's a really interesting book that is not just about space exploration or surviving, advancing our technologies because of some cataclysmic, event that happened with a meteor, but it's statement on social, political, environments that relate to this day, even though the time frame is in the 1950s, and eventually with the next book is in the 1960s.
I think advancement in thought is very slow. It's a very slow process. But eventually you do get there. But there's not a lot of difference between the way people are now, especially now, as in the way they were in the 1950s. But advancement in how we are is a journey. Takes a long time. But I also think that even though we are pretty close to the way we were in the 1950s, especially now, we're still not the way that we were. And eventually, we will be in a world where it's not just white males that have the privilege. White privilege is a thing, especially if you are white and a male. You have a lot more privilege. But I think eventually, I don't know when, I thought it was going to be like, grandkids for me, generation. But that's such a idealistic thought at this point.
We're dealing with, how long have humans been around?
No, but the thing is like, I think every generation, I have to think this. I cannot not think this, that every generation is an increment forward. It doesn't get you all the way there.
Right. No.
It's that line, the arc of the moral universe is long but bends towards justice. So it takes a long time to make that happen.
Thank you, Martin Luther King.
And you have, like in the education system, you have a pendulum, and it's like you move forward, but then you also move back a little bit.
But yes, but I also have to believe that pendulum does not go all the way back. That it stops just slightly.
We're trying to stop the pendulum.
Just slightly.
There's evidence of continual forward progress,
right,
over the past. How long have humans been around?
And I think we get there. I think we get there.
I mean, look, we're going to be. I don't want to say to be fair, but I'm just going off of just if we look in nature and just the origins of humanity. So we're trying to overcome basically biases or just natural survival where you have men go out to hunt, women stay in and fucking cook the food or whatever with take care of the fucking offspring and shit, and so it's that basic structure of survival that we do see in other animal cultures, and animal things,
okay.
But not necessarily, so it's like we're overcoming this perceived a perceived thing that, because the women stayed home and cooked, as we've advanced in our society, because the women stayed home and cooked, that means they're weaker in some sense, or that they cannot hunt, where that's obviously not true. Women can hunt just as good as men, but it was just Neanderthal and the early human cultures that the men went out to hunt and the women stayed home.
Yeah,
we're overcoming like a basic like evolutionary bias, so to speak, and it's taking so much time.
And some of those points as well are made in the book when they're talking about what things women can actually do better than men when it comes to space travel, like taking G-forces, smaller frames, lighter frames.
Better.
They're better suited to go to space than men are. That's why all the early astronauts, you think of Yuri Gagarin, little tiny guy.
But God forbid men ever admit that women could be better at anything that they are because they're perceived to be the stronger sex, or, because their body mass is, more or whatever.
It's just the way God wants us to be. God wants us to be.
God is Alanis Morissette. And isn't it ironic? So we're overcoming a lot from just hundreds of thousands of years of bullshit.
We have to overcome a lot.
And we should. And at this point, though, with how our brains have developed, our understandings, at this point, really what it is a one biological gender who's that gender mentally doesn't want to give up power. They don't want to give up control. They don't want to acquiesce that they're just as good as, if not better.
Right. So society is patriarchal.
It's a patriarchal society.
Right. And so
it's just like with religion. Religion wants to maintain power,
I think what it is that it has been a patriarchal society for so long. And also you throw in religion. Religion could be the root of that patriarchy society, but now I think it's
a justification. It's an excuse.
A justification. So I think it's two different things now. And so you have all these people being males.
Yeah.
White males.
They're just jealous because they can't fucking have babies.
No, I don't think it's that. I think that it's like, oh, I'm not jealous of that. I'm happy that I do not have to have the baby and have to deal with what you have to deal with on a monthly basis. Because I would be like, I would call my boss and I'd be like, I'm out for the next week. And if you need me, I will be in my bed with a warm compress right here.
Old school style water heater, rubber pack.
Just inhaling. I will be mainlining ibuprofen.
It is interesting how it's like, how that is perceived as being weaker, to be the species that has grows the baby and has to give birth, and that is then perceived as being the weaker sex, or whatever.
Okay, but here's the thing. I think this is how men define it.
You guys can't get a boner and you get fucking
No,
a pill
no,
that
it
Medicaid will
All
cover,
the all the funds
that
to that.
insurance will cover.
It is. I can go, and I say this specific weight because it's what I have in the room next door.
In our workout room.
In our workout room.
/
I can
bedroom.
go
Extra bedroom.
grab 50-pound dumbbells,
Uh-huh.
and I can do a certain amount of set
I'll fucking pick it up.
with those 50-pound dumbbells. But like, a lot of women can't do that, and
Unless you're Russian.
So what? I know, right?
Dude, Russian women,
right?
fucking
Holy shit!
Russian women should probably rule the world because they are fucking beasts.
God, and they don't put up with shit.
They can handle anything.
So, but I think it's men are so myopic that they go, "Hey, I can pick this thing up, and you can't pick it up." So therefore, I am the stronger
Just
sex.
better.
Meanwhile, women are pushing babies
and also
out of
equating
themselves.
stronger to better, that versus.
And it is actually a fact that women have stronger muscles than men.
Because we can push out babies.
Yeah. I mean, you have muscles that are stronger than what any man can dream of having.
Yeah.
It's just that our arms sometimes
we just can't fucking reach shit on the top shelf.
It's just that our arms are sometimes stronger than your arms.
Right.
And so men make this leap that hey, we are the stronger.
I mean, if you look at like a lion pride, okay, you have that one alpha male that's like the leader of the pack, right?
But the women get the food.
And any other fucking male, they have to challenge the alpha to take over and whatever. But that alpha doesn't fuck with the fucking alpha female in that fucking pride, right? She actually fucking rules shit and dictates what's fucking going on, you know? It's more like the alpha male is like the security guard.
The freeloader.
The women lions are the ones that are killing the men jump in too, but
well, yeah.
I like how
the women have to cook and do all that, you know. I mean, yeah, in a lot of the animal kingdom, it is the female species that is actually kind of like dictating anything. That women decide, you know, hey, if that male bird does a fancy enough dance, sure, I'll hit it, but if not, fuck that.
You can go the Black Widow route and just eat the head of the partner.
Exactly, or praying mantis, you know, I get what I need.
Do you think do you think that society is ever going to advance to where we get out of this fucking baby stage? It's a baby stage.
I think,
I have to think that we will.
Eventually, because I can see the very incremental progress. I mean, God, it wasn't until the 1920s where women were allowed to fucking wear pants,
or the 70s when women could get a credit card.
Right, or know, or that whole anything that women could do. It's not until remember, it's like less than 100 years ago that women could do basically anything with their lives.
Less than 100. In the 1950s, they couldn't do it. Though in the 1950s, the only reason why
anything is less than 100 women's rights less than 100 years ago, basically.
Yeah,
any form of women's rights less than 100 years ago.
The only reason why my grandmother went to vote, went to get a job was because she got a divorce from her husband, and she needed from my grandfather and needed to go get a job.
Yeah, I mean, it's still like if a woman gets pregnant, it's her fucking problem. You know, like I think we have a long way to go.
Right.
But it has been incremental development. Now, keep in mind, like say in ancient Greece, women could vote in ancient Greece. It was a true democracy, meaning there wasn't like they weren't voting for representatives to make the shit. They were actually like voting for the exact people with stones, black or white stones, on who was going to, who they were voting for. It was a pure democratic society, and women, and I want to say probably higher class women, because there were
Probably.
obviously
Right.
levels of society in ancient Greece. You had slaves, you had all that, so it was going to be your, like your rich Greek women that could probably vote, but they could still vote in ancient Greece versus the founding of America. Women couldn't vote, until the 1920s,
Jesus happened.
and everything. So I there is incremental progression, and I don't think we've seen, at least in America, this complete backslide into, um uh, I don't think we've seen anywhere a complete backslide into women's rights, but it is so.
Really? Roe v. Wade being overturned? That is a complete
Yeah,
backslide.
that's a backslide. But it's not a complete backslide because women can still vote.
Yeah, but
So
still.
let's give it a couple years.
And that's not, I would say that's a problem with just mainly how maybe our democratic republic is set up, where that kind of shit can get
No,
overturned.
your mom
So,
hits it.
like
Your mom hits it.
Supreme Court justices shouldn't be fucking served for life because they're
Oh,
appointed
no,
by
they
the
shouldn't. They
fucking
shouldn't.
president elected at the time. Like, that's bullshit, and they should be elected and not served for life. And so that's an institutional problem with our fucking government
But
setup.
it still has led to a backslide, and not only that is that the people on the right on the Supreme Court tend to have very religious views, and so that leads into what your mom says.
Religion is an issue.
The invention
Across
of
the
gods
board.
changed
Mhm.
everything.
The institutionalized religion is definitely a fucking issue across the board with all these things. But at the end of the day, I think that there is advancement, and I would say, as just some random person in the year 2026, which is a minuscule part of time in the time of the universe, is that fuck, what was I gonna say? I've had too many drinks as we're already in the hangover. But I would say that for the survival of the human species,
Are you bringing us back to the book?
for the survival of human species, that the ego and this fucking us versus them mentality and all that other bullshit that us humans have developed over time, that has to eventually go away. We have to develop an equitable society. Otherwise we're not going to survive. Climate change, at the base level of our problems, but every human being of the society is capable as the next human being, regardless of anything, okay?
Right.
Other than, anything.
How many Einsteins have we missed
Uh,
because of
yeah,
racism and sexism?
because of just bullshit that doesn't actually matter in terms
And
of anything. We
moneyism.
all have the same fucking, brains, how our bodies form is irrelevant to anything, and so I think that, like, the survival of humanity over the long run, which honestly people are like, oh, people talking about the survival of humanity is crazy, and it's like, well, it's kind of not, because if we look at Chelyabinsk that we talked about in the main episode, an asteroid can come right out of nowhere, and depending on its angle can obliterate a fucking city, town, country,
World.
world. It really doesn't matter,
Right,
so
that one that hit South Africa, everybody's dead.
I mean, and all of us working together isn't a bad fucking thing,
Right.
sharing is caring, everybody. We learned that from the Care Bears. We learned that when we were fucking 2 years old. Sharing is caring, and sharing things, sharing resources, sharing funds, sharing viewpoints, sharing ideologies, sharing feelings and emotions and whatever, doesn't hurt us. It only benefits us and makes us stronger as a as an entity, as a species on Earth. We're not Americans and Germans and Ukrainians and Iranians and Japanese and whatever. Sure, we can have like our personal, identities, but at the same, but we're all, at the end of the day, we're all human fucking beings. We all live on this one place, which is the Earth. And if we don't have the Earth, we don't have anything.
Right.
We have nowhere to exist, So it only hurts us when we're against each other for the most bullshit petty of reasons. Religion, color of skin, hair color, sexual organs, fucking whatever. Like, these are all bullshit fucking things. It's like not liking someone because they have a fucking mole on their face. Like, who mole?
Would you?
Who fucking gives a shit?
You would if I had one right here.
You have one right there. One right there.
Well, like,
I have two like little freckles right here.
Those are freckles.
Freckle mole, whatever. Everybody wear sunblock and prevent skin cancer.
I got this one after we were together. Where's it over here?
I know you developed this one, which I was concerned about, but the doctor said it was fine.
Yeah. Anyway, we're going to talk about the book now, right?
It is all about the book. Because if you don't work together, the human species can't survive. If we have a huge meteor hit in the Chesapeake Bay area, wiping out the majority of the East Coast, moving the capital of the fucking country to Kansas fucking City, Missouri?
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, who wants to be there? Sorry, but
if you're trans in Missouri, you gotta change your driver's license.
Like we all have to work together to survive.
Right.
Such a thing, and these petty fucking differences that are so clear in the book. It's like you read it and it's like, wait, like, what? Just because she's black or she's a woman or it's, they're Jewish, or although the Jew thing doesn't really come up as a negative in the book other than just highlighting that the main characters are Jewish. But
I think a few little comments are made, but
I really like what we just got from Liz, was Drunk Liz's version of the pale blue dot. That's exactly what that was, and it made me happy.
Like, here's everybody that ever fucking existed. You can't, if you look at a picture of the Earth from Saturn or from a distance, from Voyager, you don't see race and religion and gender. You just see one fucking planet full of life.
So what would it take to change society? I think getting rid of religion, a meteor. Yeah, I think a meteor. A meteor.
Clearly not, though, according to the book. A meteor isn't even gonna fucking do it.
Well,
It sped up progress.
A 9/11 didn't do it.
Oh, but 9/11's not a meteor. But 9/11 is rooted in religion.
That's true.
Both ways.
That's true.
Both ways.
That's
because true. Because on the other, you have one side, fundamentalist Islam, which is not Islam.
I would think
but hold on.
The Catholics would really want some 72 virgins. They should be on board.
But coming out of that on
the whole island.
On the American side,
that's just rich white men.
On the Western side is that it's Christianity versus. I heard so many arguments of Christianity is about love, Islam is about hate, and
they're
Christians,
both about the same thing. It's the same God, people, just different rules.
Like, you guys all believe in the same dude. You all believe in the same dude.
It's like Protestants versus Catholics on all versions of Protestant.
But it's fundamentally us against them. At the end of the day, it's us against them. You get rid of a religion, which is an us against them, and then ironically, you have people live the way that Jesus said to live, which is basically love your neighbor. And when you love your neighbor as yourselves, there is no them. It is all us.
We get but for our the lizard brain, the inherent kind of the deep fucking
But
inherent shit that we don't think about because we've evolved past this point, but that us versus them was a survival mechanism, which is the problem,
right, so
because it comes up in this bullshit that we don't need anymore. We don't need an us versus them anymore.
Right, so your mom wants to know, so what does it take?
We get rid of us versus them.
Get rid of us versus
them.
them.
So we're all just in us. We all need to be in us.
We all need to be an us.
We all need to be an us. We all need to hug as an us and come
We
together
need
as an us.
we need a frog on a fallen tree with a guitar singing about rainbow connections.
Yes, that's what we need. Also, we don't need billionaires.
We should eat them.
That creates
Eat
a
the
big
rich.
fucking us versus them.
Eat
Is the
the
fucking
rich.
billionaires that run everything and
Mhm.
dictate how media is controlled and what our interpretations are.
But not here. This media stays free.
Anyway, okay, so the calculating stars. It is scientific with a meteor
Mhm.
impact and the fallout from that. It is a commentary on feminism and sexism in the country. It's a commentary of racism in the country. It's a commentary on just society in general and how we can't respond to a global. I mean, it's not necessarily a global emergency, this impact.
Oh, it's global.
But
It's
it is
global.
global in a sense, because
Ultimately.
it does affect, because the climate change fallout from it affects the entire world.
So a meteor impact is both local and global,
Yeah.
at least in this particular case.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's really like a book that is, you would think that, on the surface, it's like, oh, hey, meteor strikes and what happens, and we trying to go to the moon, and it's a historical fiction, but it really encompasses everything that's kind of relevant in society today, even though it takes place in the 1950s, because those topics are still relevant, even
Today.
if not all women are wearing dresses.
as you wear a dress.
As I'm wearing a dinosaur dress, yes. But I also have leggings on, so I'm wearing pants at the same time.
So, Brandon, what are we reading next time?
Oh, wow. Next time, whenever that will be, we'll be reading Red Mars by Kim Stanley Robinson.
Red Mars. Yes, I have
Do we
not
want-
read this.
Do we want to do half a book for one and the other half later? Because it's kind of a hefty book.
Is it?
Well, it depends on.
Or should we just knock it all out?
Well, we're gonna do it in a few months. We'll do it in a few months. All right. We'll
Read
have
the
plenty
whole
of
thing.
time to read it.
Read
it. All right.
Okay. We only did this book club so soon to the previous book club because
1 week.
of my insistence, because I had finished the book and because there was such delay between when I finished The Martian and the Martian book club, I was worried that it was going to be such a delay between that I was going to forget what happened in the Calculating Stars, and I thought you two were already reading it at the same time that I was reading it.
We had already
But you
read
had
it.
already read it.
Years
Yeah,
ago.
I thought you had started reading it again when we
I actually
talked about
think
it.
I think I read this book when I was living with you guys.
Really?
Yeah.
That was a while ago then. So I thought everybody was all
I
together
read it.
in
It's fine.
this. So
Yeah, I read it again.
So we'll have
Red Mars.
so now we'll have a few months between Red Mars. I haven't read it. They have read it. They will
Multiple
reread
times.
it. I will reread it. Now I would encourage, if you're interested in it, to read The Calculating Stars, but also if you have read that, or if you decide to read it and finish it, to then follow it up with The Faded Sky. I've read the second in the series. I haven't read the third yet.
I haven't read the second one.
I actually like the Faded Sky, better than Calculating Stars, only because I've already learned about the characters from the Calculating Stars, so that helps. And I think there's just a little bit more it's a little bit more engaging for me with what happens during the Faded Sky, and I think that the character development and relationships are a little bit more interesting that go on between it, although I still prefer my heroines when I read them to just be better than I am and to not have all the fucking normal bullshit of a regular woman.
I prefer characters that would have some sort of moment of doubt.
I do not want that. I want them to be confident.
So,
I want them to be strong, and I
you
want them
want-
to be always kicking ass.
So you want book Aragorn, not movie Aragorn.
Oh, see, I haven't
Yes.
read. I haven't
Yes.
read actual Lord of the Rings.
Wait a minute. But even
In
movie
the movie, he's
Aragorn,
badass. Except
No,
he
but
gets
he
a
has
real
moments of
whiny
doubts. He doesn't-
voice.
right?
He does a real whiny voice in a couple parts that I don't like, but
even in movie
that's a Viggo
Aragorn,
Mortensen issue.
movie Aragorn definitely has moments of doubt.
Yeah, Book Aragorn's
never-
like, I'm going to be king.
No,
Right now.
yes.
Oh,
Let's
really?
do it.
See, that's different because he's a man. I don't give a shit about how men behave. I want my men to be vulnerable in books. I want the opposite. I want my
Alright.
women to be 100% confident and badass, and I want men to be fragile and vulnerable. That's what I want in what I'm reading in my media.
I appreciate, Mike, that our job today was just to hold the soapbox and hold on. I appreciate that.
All right, so join us in 2 weeks for another episode of The Hangover, which will probably talk politics.
Well, will it?
I don't know what we're going to talk about.
I don't
in 2
know.
weeks.
It'll be our main episode will be a High in the Sky for
It's
April.
not going to be a book club.
Of 2026. It will not be a book club next time. We will talk about whatever we will decide to talk about.
All right.
Excellent.
Cheers, everybody.
Thanks.
Go read Red
Bye.
Mars.
Thanks for joining us. See you
Bye.
next time. Bye. All right, I'll close this out now. I'm closing us out, everybody. We're now officially ending. We're ending the stream, and goodbye.
Yeah, but